Hello everyone and welcome to a slightly late Zelda Speedruns match here of Ocarina of Time Season 3. We have What the Hell's Happened versus Glitchymon. I will call it the Canadian Cup. I will hand it off to August, Yoshi, and Emo Soda here for you.
Welcome. It's now after dark, or maybe not where you live. But yeah, we have the Canadians. What the Hell's Happened versus Glitchymon? Sure to be a awesome race. Hi.
What the Hells is definitely looking to break that second place curse through the tournaments. And I mean, Glitchy came into this tournament off getting the Hundo World Record, like big achievement there. So both of them kind of a decent bit of motivation lately.
Yep, both of them know the game extremely well, both execute extremely well. It's all gonna be what the RNG guys throw at them tonight. Anyone not in the know or looking for 6 medallions, hoping that we don't have to find the 3 additional spiritual stones from our 9 main dungeons in order to unlock the Bridge to Ganon.
Also worth noting, the winner of this one will go on to face Engineer in the next round. So that'll be another all-Canadian matchup. And the loser of this one is going to drop down into loser's bracket to face off against Phoenix Feather, who's the 7th seed in the tournament. So tough matches all round, but one of them's an elimination match. So both really be desperately trying to avoid that one.
And we are starting off with the Shadow Medallion, one step away from the Light Arrow cutscene and the secret weapon from Princess Zelda.
I think the one thing that everyone's going to come to expect in this race is going to be these are 2 of the best execution players in the tournament. Like, they will be... You are going to see very few kind of subpar strategies or, like, major slip-ups or whatever. So a lot of this is going to come down to those routing decisions instead, and those kind of mid-game decisions of where do they go next, how early do they dip dungeons, that kind of thing.
Talk about no pressure. Yoshi expecting no slip-ups.
Not none, just very few. So, less than you might see in the average race.
I think
and less second and third attempts.
I think we're more likely to see something kind of wild out of Glitchy based on his last race. I think he did Ice Cavern out of Logic.
Yeah, and went through all of GTG and then Ice Cavern out of Logic before going to bottom of the well without Zelda's Lullaby, I think it was.
Yeah, out of Logic is not something either one of these runners are gonna care about breaking. Looks like What the Hell going with the vanilla Kokiri green. Well, What the Hell has a creamy off-white color.
I like the vanilla tunic, but the best color here is actually Glitchy's hearts.
It's a pretty good take, I think. I like that color too.
Yeah, and both of them going for the Kokiri sword chest, picking up some rupees along the way.
It's interesting. This is one that a lot of people have been skipping recently, but both of these runners just... No. Don't want to leave that one behind. Don't want to move away from there later. Just going straight to the sword chest, and I guess that's something you don't want to give up to your opponent potentially as an early advantage.
Yep, I do know What the Hell is fond of doing an early Deku if he gets enough money. Definitely if he gets a shield upgrade somewhere in Mido's house or the forest area.
Yeah, me and Soda are actually... We spoke to What the Hells yesterday about opening routes on the podcast. And yeah, What the Hell's is a big fan of early Deku into early adult.
Oh, wow.
Oh, Bomb Bag, though, might switch up. Nope. Looks like What the Hell is headed into the shop, and Glitchymon close behind.
Yeah, I feel like both players here are just not going to try and meta each other. I think they both kind of expect this kind of opener from each other. And so I think they're just going to go with it for a while until maybe somewhere even in like the mid game is where I think they're going to make the first big decisions, unless one of them goes early adult and the other doesn't. I can totally see Glitchy going 3-song here, while What the Hells is probably going to go early adult after Deku, especially with those bombs.
It's one of those things where you're always going to go into the Deku tree, so there's no reason to try and push that early advantage. Like, what item would they find that makes their Deku tree significantly faster? The odds of getting a hint that it's foolish are pretty low. That right on cue. Way of the hero instead.
Yeah,
Even
neck
better.
and neck, though. Climbing the tree, getting that stone.
I mean, there's so little downside to doing Deku first nowadays. I mean, the only real time it's actually actively bad is when it's all dungeons, not even all dungeons, when it's not all dungeons, and Deku's a stone, and it's Baron. All of those have to line up for it to be a complete waste of time, but usually it's pretty good to do early on.
And that's the other thing, yeah, like, you're always going to do it, so there's no reason to put it off, especially if you can do it early, you might as well. Like, it's one of those things where, you know, you want your decision making so to maximize your potential to clear an area. You know, if you can get, I don't know,
Silver scale,
and you want to do Gerudo Valley, you can go into Zora's Domain from there. Let's go with that.
Yeah, so silver scale there in the lobby. Also the second hint around the Deku tree, Epona song waiting for us in the desert.
This is already a really strong opener from both players. Scale and bombs are just two items you really want to have to really open up your routing options.
And it's an interesting one because, you know, that Gerudo Valley loop has become a lot less popular lately, and I know What the Hell's at least, I think both runners here like going early adult, but scale doesn't tend to do much if you're adult.
But it looks like What the Hell's Happened ever so slowly, lightly is pulling away. Backflipping up onto the lobby chest. Now just has to be patient with this Skulltula.
Yeah, Glitchy just throwing the bomb, not going to waste any time trying to get the chest set up.
Yeah, What the Hell going up on the left-hand side while Glitchy taking the right.
It's going to be back and forth relentlessly in the early game, isn't it?
Most likely, yeah.
Tiny little execution differences here and there, just pushing one very slightly ahead until we get, presumably at some point we'll get one big major decision that completely shifts like everything. Oh, wow.
There is the bow. Not unlocking very much, but we need that to kill Ganon.
Yeah, if they find even one more item in here, I think it's going to be pretty spooky. Wow, a hook shot.
So I was about to say, scale and bow aren't things that tend to be way of the hero. Hookshot is. Hookshot normally is.
Yep, Sphere 0 hook shot.
Yeah, now this is a seed. I mean, there's just going to be so much that's going to be open that I feel like they're just going to go early adult after Deku. And What the Hell's is going to skip these gold Scutellas. Save a little bit of time. Looks like you might pick up this one, but...
I was going to say, they... Apparently, I was about to say that What the Hells was picking him up and Glitchy wasn't, but they just did it in a slightly different order.
With that bomb bag, you don't really have to invest any time into the basement 1 skip here, so... Glitchy kind of not getting the flame storage quite right there, but nice back up there with the backflip.
Yeah, not one you see very often now with people doing flame storage, but
Yeah, it's good to know.
yeah, and if you can get it quickly, then it's not much for loss at all.
But what the hell? Maintaining his lead. First to Queen Vilma. And gets the one cycle.
Pretty
Down
clean.
goes the Queen.
Let's see if Glitchy can do the same.
Yep, maintaining pace. And was that a light medallion?
That was a stone.
No. It's a Goron Ruby.
Yeah.
Oh, shucks.
Not really what you want in, but so interesting question on this one. If you don't see a hint for your Ocarina of Time, at what point do you commit to doing your all dungeons? Like, I guess it depends on which dungeons they are, but
Yeah, which dungeons and which items you got. Like at this point, if you have a stone forest, there's strength upgrade away from full clearing it, and it might tempt them to get one step closer.
yeah, like I think if I see any two of Deku Tree, Dodongo's Cavern, and the starting one, that's it. I might as well just do it at that point.
Yeah, if it's just vanilla stone dungeons, then you have a pretty strong likelihood of that, but really depends on what the second and third stone dungeons are, I think. If you have something like Shadow or Spirit as a stone, it's a little bit less likely, but a little bit more scary, perhaps.
Less scary, the Boulder O Destiny.
No,
That's
40's
pretty
dead.
Nice movement from What the Hell's to get in there, to blow up the bomb just as back walking in. Need to learn the positioning of that.
Yep,
Glitchy,
Glitchy showing
yeah.
off
It's like-
backwards. Pulling out the bomb almost optimally.
Yeah, you can kind of see where the fence there, where it kind of starts, and the bank on the river there, it kind of angles there. That's where you want to pull out the bomb if you're just walking forward, and it'll blow up as you enter. And what the hell's already up to 4 skulls here?
Yeah, going out the way to get that guardhouse skull, that's not always one that you see early, but
It's not a lot of good times to get it, so if you just get it immediately, you don't even have to worry about getting it later, routing it in, potentially in your child too. You might already have warp songs at that point, so whenever you're ever going to go back there for it. Ooh, it's a really nice bomb placement.
That's what I feel about anyone who skips an early slingshot. But I agree, Glitchy, really efficient there, picking up that skull flow.
chat asking if we're in go mode yet. After Deku Tree, about halfway apparently.
If I mean, if we had an open castle setting, yeah, we just need light arrows and magic.
Oh, and what the hell is skipping Bombchi Bowling here? Didn't end up having anything, but
I mean, it might just be
Dead?
grabbing a hint here, right? 30 and 50 were
Which
dead.
was that?
River Chest
blade?
was the boomerang?
yeah, I think so.
That was the
Nice.
River Chest was the boomerang. So it was also both 30 and 50 were dead. 30's the ice arrows. And I think it was Death Mountain Crater was Way of the Hero.
Yeah, we'll get
one of
another
those
look
Death
here.
Mountain places. And that is the benefit of having 2 racers. We have 2 chances to get those hints. And then all the chances that chat has to go back and get a screenshot and zoom in and
Looks like Glitchy might be committing to 3-song here, while What the Hell is doing an early adult tip. And anybody get to know what the medallions are here?
Forest, Shadow, Fire, Jabu Jabu. I forgot. I didn't get that last.
Dodongo's Cavern.
Dongos and forests. So we know that that boomerang is required. So Song of Time, we'll have to find it at some point in the seed.
Glitchy reading that Gerudo Training Grounds are Way of the Heroes, so it's seeming like it's going to be a pretty long seed at this point. Stonewater has the boomerang. Training Grounds Way of the Hero.
It is the crater.
Oh, Vanilla Song of Time would actually be amazing here. I want to see it now. You have to go in, beat water, go back, get your Song of Time, go back to water to pick up your boomerang.
I mean, it's what, a Sphere 1-2 hookshot? So, not out of the realm of possibility here. The other hookshot could be somewhere in the early game.
Glitchymon doing a good deed, returning that dog and getting a heart container from it. What the hell's happened? Getting $5 from the Redeads.
I'm also a little surprised Glitchy's not also going early adult, only because of that early hook shot and the bow and the bombs. You can really clear out a lot of Death Mountain Trail, Crater, and Kakariko. It's pretty insane efficiency.
I mean, at the same time...
could do it after coming up here to the cast.
Right, at the same time, yeah, your early songs are really important, and even just getting this first one and then making a slightly more informed decision on that is pretty reasonable.
Skull Mask is dead.
Always a good find. Nothing so far in CAC.
And depending on what the song is at Zelda's Lullaby, Glitchy might be able to get ahead of What the Hells if he doesn't find anything else in Kakariko.
We got a song here from Guru, the windmill guy. And it's Zelda's Lullaby, so that unlocks another song right away here in the graveyard.
It's always interesting to see if people are going to pick up the song here. A lot of the time, you kind of want to hold on to it for that check, but just in case it's Nocturne, I think you kind of always have to.
I think it might depend on your opponent. Against an opponent like Glitchymon, I think you want to grab it right away.
Yeah, that makes sense actually. Yeah, if you think you can get an edge by getting that out of logic, great.
There is Requiem of Spirit from Impa. So no AD for Child Spirit logic.
Both have the potential to chain a bunch of songs here as well.
Yeah, that's true. The early items on What the Hell sides means you can... And actually, going back again, we were talking about openings. This was something that What the Hell said that he really likes, is if you get an early hook shot and explosives, then you can get 3 songs from your early adult. And, well, he's actually going to get 4 because of the graveyard, like here as well. So you pick up the windmill one, you can pick up the Death Mountain Crater one, and you can pick up the Minuet check.
Yeah, it really depends on what songs are where at this point. Either of these routes could end up with more songs. We don't know yet.
Yeah, right now they're both looking like 4-song routes.
Well, there's the Song of Time on Sunsong Grave.
Not one you'd often like to pick up, doesn't unlock a whole lot of checks. And the ones that they do are kind of stupid, although with the Iron Boots, that unlocks our banana, which we will need to complete the game.
Yeah, not normally the best song, but One that they're very, I'm sure What the Hells is very happy to see right now.
Glitchy could go to Valley and Child Lake here into Domain Lost Woods.
Prelude during your 3 song is really nice as well.
Mm-hmm.
Just a really good, efficient way to get back at the end of it all.
Yeah, Glitchy
absolutely.
also.
Go ahead.
Glitchy also putting that big round sword in Lon Ranch, so once he does go adult, he could save some time depending on which items he does pick up in his Child 1 route here.
Well, it's always interesting to see whether these runners choose to jump into Gerudo Valley. Glitchymon looks like safe, quitting back to the forest. What the hell's happened? Almost finished with his Dampe race. Did he already take a look at what was in the TARDIS?
Yeah, although I didn't catch what it was.
I think it was a piece of heart, potentially. I think it was nothing, but didn't catch it what the specific was. But wow,
But-
strength here.
Yeah, that is something we want to see. So that is a very nice little Forest Temple kit. So that is 2 medallions that we can get already. I imagine What the Hell's Happened will pick up the Spirit Medallion from Dodongo's Cavern, the Light Medallion from the Forest Temple before he goes back child.
If What the Hells finds either letter or iron boots fairly early too, that'll just really catapult him ahead on medallion dungeons. Even without the warp songs, he won't even really need them. That was a Jabu Foolish hint that we just saw.
Oh, interesting.
So at that point,
Suppose-
you can just leave that till the very end. You don't have to go over to water until you, you don't have to rush over there anytime soon. You can just kind of hold off until it's super convenient to pick it up nearby.
So Glitchymon here in the Lost Woods doing the Ocarina minigame. 5 notes to memorize. Very unique song tonight. Wow, What the Hell's Happened? Getting run over as he's entering Dodongo's Cavern.
Yeah, you can't really worry about time of day too much here. I think you're just really going to be focused in on completing these progression dungeons as fast as possible in a 1v1.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, if there's nothing blocking you out, you're in the area, you'd be foolish not to complete it. Even if it's something like Jabu Jabu, which is bearing a treasure. If they're in the area with the letter and the boomerang, you might as well clear Jabu Jabu.
And What the Hell's also getting that Graveyard Way of the Hero and Dodongo's Cavern. Gotta be feeling pretty confident about his opening route here.
Yeah, meanwhile, Glitchy saw that Pierre has a key, so you might want to set that one up before you head over there. And focus that a little more if you think it might be needed.
Yeah, always useful information about your dungeons and which chests may or may not lock you out if there's a key on them.
Glitchy really not wanting to use those last stick here, but not really sure what he would want it to save it for anyway.
So our bow was in the Deku tree. along with their silver scale and the hook shot.
Mhm.
The Dampe piece of art, I believe, was a recovery heart. We didn't really get a good look at it.
There is the second Jabu Jabu Baron of Treasure on top of the maze here in the Sacred Forest. And Hyrule Castle Way the Hero. Surprise, surprise.
Either for that Requiem
wait.
or
That actually,
possibly...
yeah, that actually is a surprise, right?
That is, yeah. Yikes.
Requiem, but for Stone Spirit?
So your question earlier, when do you decide to do all dungeons? I think right about now you make that decision. As What the Hell finds another bomb back here, almost vanilla in Dodongo's Cavern. That's our second Crater Way the Hero.
Oh, strength 2. Into Dongo's Cavern
Wow.
on the bomb bag chest.
Nice. So pan off. Will it be Child Spirit Temple, as Glitchy I think is gonna check out now? Or will those Silver Gauntlets come into play early on?
Not gonna...
Get look at that arch piece?
It's a little hard to tell as Child a lot of times if the model is a little bit short. So you can kind of deduce what it is sometimes based on that, but I didn't catch what that was.
The song or the arch?
The archway.
Because the song was Opponents, and that's... Oh.
Ooh.
Oh, the lever
Got a
taking out
fairy.
Glitchy, but luckily picked up a fairy in a box.
Yeah, that fairy coming in pretty clutch there.
I was going to say, Opponents is actually an interesting one, though, because... Oh, really foolish. It potentially
Nice.
knocks a lot of... I think that was just an arrow up there.
Yeah, Glitchy finding the best hint in the game. Valley is foolish.
Yeah, and Glitchy is not going over the fairy fountain. It looks like he's headed adult now.
Oh, Opponents was hinted, wasn't it? You already knew that one. But yeah, that says interesting things in terms of the logic, because it could be that Spirit is required, and that's why Requiem's Way of the Hero. It could just be that there's a long shot in Gerudo Training Grounds, which is Way of the Hero.
Keeping me honest, Glitchy cannot do that fairy. So ZL is in our windmill. Right away, Glitchy using that Bolero, using that advantage he may have. And he does. It's Nocturne. Oh, that's gonna save him some time.
And that's also that Death Mountain Crater Way of the Hero covered. Could be something else here, but yeah, kind of a little less worried about full clearing it now.
He's not. There we go, King Dodongo down. Nothing on his heart piece. What the hell? A little upset, but he did pick up strength up in there, as well as that second bomb bag, so he's coming out ahead. Light Arrow cutscene also available to him. And his trail is clear. It's set up the mountain in the Goron City. We'll probably be picking up Nocturne here in just a moment, so they'll high five here in a moment as Glitchy heads down the mountain.
And as far as my notes go, we're only actually missing 5 hints at this point.
Yeah, Glitchy just getting that hint for Goron City Hammer Chest is dead. But yeah, we have a lot of hints at this point in the seed. Even both runners have a majority of the hints now. It's really only the Castle Way of the Hero that was only on Child's side at Sacred Forest Meadow. And the Graveyard hint was in Dodongo's Cavern. But other than that, they should be pretty even on knowledge at this point.
And they'll both have those soon enough. Glitchy on the way into Django's Cavern now, and what the hell is you've got to assume goes from here to Sacred Forest Meadow to pick up that song. So both going to have a lot of information to work with very soon.
Well, the thing is, at this point, What the Hell's Happened might not need to go to Lon Lon Ranch, might not need Bolero of Fire from Saria. He might get all the items that he needs here as adult. There's the hammer.
Speaking of items. And thank you, Marco, for the raid of 251. Welcome, everyone.
Yeah, we are just beginning, 27 minutes into our race here. Glitchymon versus What the Hell's Happened. Seems to be a pretty jet seed. We have all the items we need for our forest temple. We have the Dongle's Cavern cleared. We have our hammer, so we can clear fire even. We know the boomerang is in the water temple, in the river chest. But we have our Song of Time from the graveyard.
Yeah, the seed definitely feels like it's accelerating at this point into just more items and more items, so it'll be a question whether or not we'll be able to find the rest of the items, or if they're going to be a little bit buried inside of the dungeons or the overworld. Though we do know where that boomerang is on the river chest in Water Temple.
Although with a
This
foolish
moment, we're
foolish
looking for
jab, you
Rudo's
can't
letter
realize.
and shadow stuff. We need Inspire Magic and the hover boots. And then, of course, the light arrows.
So only the one way of the hero left to really explore, but, well, they can, or at least What the Hells can pretty much full clear it as soon as he gets that bonus.
And you know what? That Hyrule Castle way of the hero for Requiem might be to get opponents to go to GTG for that way of the hero. They might all be connected like that. But what the hell is gonna be able to full clear the crater? Checking the crater fairy fountain now.
They could also find the second scale to get into Water Temple, but a little bit less likely, especially with no bomb chews. Won't be able to full clear it. You can't full clear it with gold scale anyway, but
Yeah, I mean, at this point, they don't want to full clear it. They are looking for 2 keys so they can get into the river chest. And that's all they want to do in there. Although we have not found the song that is on the Ocarina of Time.
Not to mention that Deku Tree was Way of the Hero, which was a bow, a scale, and a hook shot, which either means your second hook shot is locked by the first one, or they care a little bit more about doing things like the Water Temple.
Well, the hook shot unlocks something that unlocks the long shot.
I believe
And
that
of
was
course
a pure as a small key.
Yeah. Of course, it could just be a logic bait in there as well.
So there is our nut upgrade here in the Dongle's Cavern. As what the hell is checking the Summit Berry? Just a pizza. Pizza Heart. So now I imagine what the hell will continue to stick around as an adult, go on through the Lost Woods, and clear out the Forest Temple. I imagine Glitchymon not far behind, picking up Strength 1 in Dodongo's Cavern.
Yeah, really the only difference between the runners is the song selection, the second strength. If What the Hell's Happened had the Requiem of Spirit right now, he would probably just dip Spirit.
Or GTG.
Yeah, that would also be a very strong play at this point. Has all the items for it, pretty much. Wouldn't know
Yeah.
about the Epona.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see what they do after the Forest Temple. Or maybe Forest Temple Baron Treasure.
There isn't much more that What the Hells can do from here, so I assume after this, the plan is just to save quit and go back to that 3-song route.
The only thing he could do is use that scale as an adult and go into to Zora's River. That might be an interesting play to make. But Glitchymon grabbing that Spirit Medallion, headed back into Kakariko. Or no, this is their first time in.
Mm-hmm.
Right up to Rufio. Nothing of value here other than Zelda's Lullaby in the windmill. And then, of course, he will get strength number 2 in the graveyard.
And both runners should be even on knowledge now. What the hell's getting these hints as adult rather than child, so he's going to save about 30 seconds, give or take here.
Yeah, I think What the Hell's picked up a couple of hints that Glitchy just chose to skip over, but no new information on them, so nothing too major in terms of knowledge there.
Yep, and nothing too major here from Sheik in the forest, Sacred Forest Meadow. But What the Hell is going to continue on to medallion progression. Glitchymon picks up ZL from Guru Guru. There's an interesting pickup. Adult's Wallet in the first chest of the Forest Temple.
Could very well just be for Tunic logic, either for Forest or Water. I mean, Fire or Water.
Yep, we technically need a Tunic for the dragon. Dragon that is eating little Gorons in the Fire Temple. Glitchy taking out these re-dead as What the Hell's Happened, starting his Stalfos fight.
We might be seeing Glitchy go Fire Temple before Forest Temple here. It's a little bit riskier without the hookshot, but I think he has gotten the Pierre hint by now.
Did
No,
he
you got
pick
to
up
key.
the hammer?
I guess not yet, but assumedly he will.
The thing with going to Fire first, like, firstly he's got Bolero, so it's a little less useful for him. And secondly, he got the Pierre hint, but it's a key. So if he gets key locked by that, then there's a problem.
Yeah, that's pretty true.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see what he does here in the moment. What's happening? Yeah, at the point where he needs to pick up buff keys.
Yeah, so far he's just been mimicking What the Hell's Happened's routing so far as the early adult went, so not too many surprises here so far.
That might work out really well for him. At this rate, he might only go back to Child once more and then never have to touch it again.
Yeah, I think Glitchy is making very great use of that Bolero into Nocturne. He's doing these a bit more efficiently than what the hell. He walked across the field.
It's kind of been the case since the start of this race, is that they're both making pretty expected plays, nothing too out of the ordinary. Kind of expect that to continue into the mid game here.
Glitch continue to make efficient use of his songs.
And right now, it's just all coming down to the usual thing of, is it the 3-song child route or the early adult? What the hell's did the early adult? And it's looking like, right now, I think, the 3-song is paying off more.
I'm not so sure. What the hell has the medallion progress? Glitchymon is kind of catching up.
I think it
all comes
depends.
down to what's in GTG. Because Glitchy being able to go there during this adult sequence is pretty big. Whereas What the Hells is going to go back to Child, do 3-song, get Requiem on the way through that to pick up opponents, and then have to go adult again from there. So I think that'll be the big difference maker there. If it's something like Iron Boots, then maybe it's not that important. But if it's like Din's Fire, pretty big deal.
It would be pretty interesting to see if What the Hell, because Forest Temple is technically out of logic at this point. You don't know where Minuet or Saria Song are. He could pull out the long shot from here. That would be pretty hype.
Does make it a little bit less likely that there's going to be an item here in Forest Temple, but Glitchy picking with that strength too, and going to pick up the second bow. Doesn't want to run out of arrows potentially here.
That was the second item in Dampe Race, a bow. So 2 Sphere Zero bows. Was that? Yeah, Sphere 0 strength. Sphere 1 strength.
I think if Glitchy does pull ahead here, it's likely going to be due to an item being in Forest Temple. At least at this point. And if there's no items in Forest Temple, not entirely sure what the hell happens going to do here. Could very well go to Gerudo Training Grounds. Could go to Fire. It's kind of two different risk rewards there.
Like I say, on Glitchy's end at least, like, fully expect to just see Forest first. You go over there to pick up the song while you're nearby, and might as well get the medallion done while you're there.
Yeah, if What the Hell goes to Fire Temple, it'll kind of be a long walk over there. I think if he doesn't do the river, he goes back Child for his Hyrule Castleway the hero. And he can get Din's Fire on his way up there, or his Din's Fairy on his way up there. Would be awesome if it was Vanilla Din's.
Yeah, the fact that Requiem's in the Child one here is going to be punishing What the Hell's a little bit in terms of his riding choices.
So, yeah, Glitchy meanwhile missed the rolling Goron and just went straight to Forest from there, meaning no Goron Maze yet, which means it'll be interesting to see if he plays Bolero after Forest to go back and do that. But otherwise, yeah, he won't be going anywhere near Fire because no hammer.
Yikes. I hope he doesn't orphan that off for too long.
So yeah, just 3 hints missing at this point. A lot of information, but then I guess both these runners have kind of done a very fast, big exploration early game, and we've got a nice diversity. We haven't seen many repeated hints, which is nice.
Yeah, they are very adept to going fast. Both speedrunners of the vanilla game.
Kind of interesting to note here, though, too, if some of the easier tricks here, what the hell has happened notes in his bio that he took before the tournament happened. Something like Mido's skip for Forest Temple, if that was just in Logic already, it could be even more likely that Forest has items in general.
Would also potentially make those hints a little more powerful, which...
Yeah, they're already pretty powerful, so I'm not sure if that's a net gain or not, but would maybe
be
balance
interested in
out.
this scenario. If it's like logical dungeons to get to Forest, and the GTG item is just the Mirror Shield.
And both players continuing to pick up gold skulls here. We'll see how many they're actually going to collect up to. I would not be too surprised if they just both get 20 pretty default. Don't really want to orphan the 20 skull check. If it has any kind of item, you're going to fall very far behind.
Yeah, I think by the 2-hour mark, if they're not at 20, there's something wrong, or they're getting closer and closer to go mode.
Yeah, I think out of like the top runners, What the Hells has a bit more of a reputation for taking gambles than a lot of the others, but something like 20 skulls you just kind of pick up as you go. It's not so much of a... It's kind of like a... less of a one-off gamble to skip it and more of like a consistent game plan. You've got to be thinking of it constantly, and I can't expect that to be something he does.
Yeah, I mean, he's also thinking about his opponent, Glitchymon, who runs the 100% category. So Glitchy probably not going to be skipping anything, so that might leave What the Hell not to skip anything. So I think both of these runners are at the top of their game. They are executing it really well, as you said. We haven't really seen any mess-ups just yet. Nothing serious anyway. What the hell? Almost finished up at Forest.
Is Glitchy just starting it up?
Glitchy will be about halfway by the time What the Hell defeats Phantom Ganon at the second Stalfos room, one above the one he's in right now.
Also, yeah, Sony, just saying about the big Goron sword, that is actually going to make quite a bit of a difference here. Forest is one of the dungeons where it actually really comes into play. I tend to complain a lot because I think the effect of big Goron sword is very overrated. But one cycling Phantom Ganon instead of a 2-cycle, that's a pretty big deal.
Finding the fire arrows as well on the falling room in Forest could be logically needed, but we don't know where the Forest access is yet, so it might just be for nothing. Dins could still be out there more logically accessible. And we already need Dens for entering Shadow Temple anyway, so... Unless they find magic soon, really only really affects kind of Spirit Temple logic. Yeah, Glitchy might save up to about a minute here with the big round sword, potentially.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see how that big Goron sword plays out, and what does What the Hell do after Forest Temple. 2 potential checks left. Pretty sure we've already seen the boss key.
So just as an interesting point on Forest Temple being out of logic at the moment, there's currently 4 songs that we don't know about. We haven't seen Saria's or Minuet, and we haven't seen Songstorms or Sunsong. The only checks remaining are 2 locked behind the Shadow Temple, at least. Burning Kakariko and the Prelude check. And then Ice Cavern and the All Dungeon Song.
So 1 locked behind all dungeons, 1 locked behind Ruto's letter. Fun.
So it's really interesting considering that they just found the fire arrows, meaning the only fire source outside of this is Din's Fire. If fire is needed for spirit logic, that is 3 songs locked behind. Sorry, that is 3. Yeah, 3 songs locked behind Din's Fire right there.
We know there is something important waiting for us in GTG. We know the banana is in the water temple. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out.
Yeah, it's a pretty good point on the Din's Fire locking potentially 3 songs here. It's pretty scary to think about.
To answer a question in chat, they are allowed to do very minor glitches. Basically being ground jumps and not much else. Ground jumps allowing you to store a falling animation off of the bomb and jumping up to platforms that generally you're not able to reach. And Link does a little extra jump and grabs up onto him, saving runners just a handful of seconds, sometimes minutes. But generally there is a glitchless way to do that as well. So rather than learning some abstract glitchless logic, we allow runners to do ground jumps if they so choose.
One of the main things that's affected by is Ice Cavern jumps. You would have to learn 3 jumps if there weren't for ground jumps there. Not having the best Phantom Ganon fight here for what the hells.
Yeah, I imagine Glitchy will make up some time there. But just about the mark that I called, finishing up Phantom Ganon, as Glitchymon is entering his 2nd Stelphos fight, about halfway through the Forest Temple.
Phantom Ganon is one of those fights as well where if it goes wrong, it seems like it goes terrible. The final phase can be an absolute nightmare, just wreak havoc, and if you try to jump slash and go through him, then yeah, you're going to struggle a little bit there.
So unfortunately, just the light medallion from Forest Temple, so that doesn't unlock any check, but we do have the light arrow cutscene waiting for us at the Temple of Time. But it looks like What the Hell's Happened is gonna go up through the river, maybe. Nope, just checking this hint, perhaps. GTG Way of the Hero, number 2.
Fire would be the other option here, yeah. Like, head towards fire with that hammer and, you know, it doesn't have Bolero.
Doy, that makes more sense.
Yeah, might as well clear the progression dungeon here. Don't really need the warp song too badly. No, well, I guess they do have the hook shot, but no Scarecrow song yet. So they could get key locked out of fire here.
Yep, we'll need 6 keys at that point. So get your calculator out, start taking notes. What the hell, entering the Fire Temple, sub-hour, sub-55 even.
That's where the prelude from Glitchy's side might come into really big effect here. If Pierre is locking them out via keys, you'll be able to go to Child Lake very fast, then go straight back adult and set up Pierre.
That is a very good point. Oh, there is our validation rupee, the one green rupee, unique green rupee pulled from a chest. Lovingly dubbed Greg the rupee. Smashing some totem poles as Glitchy dodges getting squished.
Yeah,
Picking up those fire arrows.
Over here on a quarter of a heart, and this would be a terrible place to die. You really need to not get hit by this bow.
Yeah, living on the edge. Unfortunately, are there any fairies between him and Phantom Ganon at this point?
No.
None in the basement, shucks.
If there are any other minor enemies, he could get lucky with them dropping a fairy, but other than that... But there's the one heart there. Ooh, an early boss
There's
key.
Boss key, so that's the question. You just kill Vivagi and go, or do you stick around?
I've got to imagine with the number of items they've got, you just get straight out of there. You get your medallion and you leave. He's not even done 3-song yet. Like, there's so much more for him to go and do.
I'm just not sure where What the Hells does go after this. Without having those warp songs, it'll be a little difficult to do in much of anything without doing 3-song as child first.
And you know what we also haven't seen? We haven't seen Bomb Chew Bowling, the bomb bag in Mido's house.
One of them did it, but I don't think What the Hell... Was it What the Hells who didn't?
I don't think either, unless Glitchy came back with it. Oh. He did do it according to Shadow Magi. Whoopsie.
But yeah, like, that's the thing. What the Hells doesn't have much more he can do as adult, but I don't think that matters. Like, we're an hour in, and What the Hells hasn't done his Zelda's Lullaby check.
And he is working on medallion number 4.
Yeah. And Castle was Way of the Hero. Like, he has to go child from here, right?
Well, I think he might go to Hyrule Castle, get Requiem, maybe do the first child checks in Spirit, and then go back adult with those silver gauntlets. And then reverse over to GTG Way of the Hero, you know?
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, both players have seen Hyrule Castle Way of the Hero. It was at Sacred Forest Meadow, except Glitchy saw it as a child, and then What the Hell saw it as an adult. But they both have that information now.
Yeah, but Glitchy, skipping the Goron maze, does not have the hammer. I wonder what Glitchy's gonna do after Forest Temple here.
Yeah, that's definitely a big point on that one, is because it would be really easy for him to just go straight over to GTG Way of the Hero. You want to go and get that Gerudo Fortress stuff done.
That is key number 2 for What the Hell for the Fire Temple. But I imagine he's gonna save quit from here. Back to the Temple of Time. Glitchy, meanwhile, is on his Phantom Ganon fight with the big Goron sword. You leave the Canadians alone. It's cold up there.
We mentioned in the intro as well, after this one, the next match will also be an all-Canadian match for the winner of this, so...
And Glitchy
So-
having a pretty impressive Phantom Ganon there. Usually you see that kind of strat out of the glitchless category.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, just the Pizza Hut from Princess Zelda, and what the hell, I believe coming out here, yep, just to set his time of day for that chicken.
Right, what the hell's didn't even pick up the egg yet, did he?
Nope. I feel like there's no point really in picking up the egg anymore. I mean, the worst case scenario, you do what the hell is doing here, and you just set the time of day and pick up the chicken then. But there's no real added advantage to picking it up. You're just wasting time moving between screens, right?
Yeah, I guess it depends. If you have to go all the way over there as adult, it's slower, but yeah, like probably a good half the time you don't have to do that, so yeah.
Meanwhile, Glitchymon walking out into the field. He's gonna call his horsey, do some bombing, and then go over to GTG.
Gotta imagine that's the play. And if he finds something else in field as well, that would be pretty huge, but at the same time, when does he then go back to Goron City? It's, you know, he's seen the hint that the left side is dead. There are two, I guess three, because he's got to stop the Goron. 3 checks in adult Goron City for him to go to.
Yeah, it will be, only time will tell. Meanwhile, checking out the remote grotto down here will garnish him another hint stone. As well as the open grotto, we haven't seen that Sphere Zero check.
We also haven't seen any kind of river checks, right?
Yeah, nothing yet.
That is correct. Here is Bomb Chew Bowling from What the Hell's Happened. I am paying attention this time.
Yeah, it is a little bit better to skip it and then just do it when you're doing the night check for Richard.
Feroz Wind over there for Glitchy as well. That's quite a nice little time saver. Especially when they've got Shadow to do still.
It all depends on where that magic is, but as you mentioned, we have Shadow on the table required, so we'll definitely save some time in there if they remember they have it.
Ooh. We already knew about that, but still a very good hint to get.
And Double D down here in the South Hyrule in our Sphere Zero check. While What the Hell's Happened is visiting our Din's Fairy. 7 years she becomes the Double D Fairy. Guess takes about 7 years to develop those.
I don't think any of us quite knew how to follow on from that then.
We've hit the hour mark now.
Happy 1 hour. That's a perfect segue.
Really just trying to find where Iron Boots letter Magic and Dens are.
Also,
something
Glitchy's-
important here.
Glitchy's going out the way here to get a big Poe and I assume check the Tektite Grotto as well. And that'll actually set the time of day quite neatly to do horseback archery in Gerudo Fortress. Or
Nope.
no Tektite Grotto. Still probably going to get the time of day here.
Yeah, I think by the time we get to the valley, it'll be just about dawn. What the
Might-
hell has happened? Sending that lazy farmer home.
Glitchy might get the skulls here if he's a little bit early.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of looks to be the case.
Yep, but does not have the Scarecrow song, so we'll be orphaning that rooftop check.
We could see what the hell's in his child section here. Could go to River Domain and Child Lake to set up the Scarecrow for fire, if he intends on going back, or just to check for the Fortress chest now that he knows that Gerudo Training Grounds is way the hero.
Yeah, but he is going into Lon Ranch. Fortunately, Baron of Treasure, just Prelude of Light. $20 in the silo, and nothing of value, I believe, from town.
That was the sword.
Oh, well, kind of valuable. Still technically not ever logically required.
Yeah, useful, but not quite relevant.
Yeah, definitely the earlier you get it, the more minutes you save, potentially. So never really a bad thing to get, especially if it's hinted at. Sometimes you kind of see that with Bigron having vanilla Bigron sword. Sometimes you get it, depending on what the trade item you get in the chain is there.
Yep, and Glitchymon going straight into the training ground as opposed to going to horseback archery. Has silver gauntlets, he's gonna fall clear of the loop. Only check he can't get in here either might be key locked or is toilet underneath the iron boots somewhere. Of course, we could find iron boots somewhere here in GTG.
I was going to say, I feel like part of this comes back to what we were saying earlier about wanting to clear an area that you can already fully clear first. It's usually the other way around in Gerudo Fortress, where you can do the 3 Gerudo Fortress checks, and then that might unlock part of the training grounds. But this time around, Glitchy's missing 1 check in each, and you're far more likely to get... you're more likely to get either hover boots or long shot, as opposed to specifically the iron boots.
No panicking, we haven't seen anything of value here in GTG yet. I think we are dealing with some synchronization issue. But so far, nothing out of GTG just yet.
What the hell's is going for this item? I think it was just a Deku, right? Oh, it's money.
$50 here in the silo. Looks like he wants some money.
I wonder what that could be for. Maybe just to buy more sticks.
Yeah, he's save warping. No, it's for the Lost Woods. He needs $80.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, rupee management. Pretty subtle thing about routing and randomizer, but no less important sometimes.
Yeah, in randomizer and in life.
Yeah, that's a good point. Gotta balance that Hylian checkbook somehow.
There's the magic in GTG.
What the hell is buying 4 sticks?
Ooh, and magic. Magic there from the pancake room. Oh, damn. Spoilers. Damn synchronous.
It happens to the best of us sometimes.
I blame the ZSR bot and the server that it was spawned on.
So depending on what the hell's thinks Glitchy might have done, he's getting a lot of information about what the 3-song route might have given Glitchy if Glitchy had gone through it. And we know that he did, but
Yeah, good point. He did skip out on Child Goron City. Let's see if What the Hell makes that left turn.
would never have to go back to it, so would be kind of a strong play. Similarly, you could also just go to River right now, do Domain, set up the Scarecrow. Both pretty good. You could do even both. But with only 2 medallions left and about 4 items, might be kind of a tougher call to make.
It's actually interesting that on the other side of things, if Glitchy was to go back Child and do Goron City, that might actually just completely save him at this point because he's not touched that boulder maze. There's actually quite a lot of checks for him to pick up there, and we know one of them's the hammer.
That's right, he can do that as a child as well, so it will be interesting to see if it's just magic here in GTG. That doesn't open a whole heck of a lot, but I imagine Glitchy will be going over to the Spirit Temple to see if there's anything there. Meanwhile, spawning the Song of Time blocks. 1 key over here on the right side of maze, up to 6. And What the Hell did make that left turn into the city, and hover boots here in the GTG, the right side of the maze. Be very curious to see if those are irons locked underneath the toilet or not.
Yeah,
Or no,
very
we have
strong.
Song of Time, so it's just the final maze that has 9 keys required.
I guess the only really question right now for What the Hells is, does he just warp to Requiem to go to Fortress for GTG, or will he go through the front like Glitchy did?
Only time will tell. No Sorry song here to make Darunia happy, but we can stop the big roller and do the spinning pot. As Glitchymon is setting up for his win here. Interesting play.
Fourth Wind is an interesting one. How likely are you to come back for... Oh, right. Faster than save quitting, right. And he wants to go and do the fortress afterwards, of course. I'm not used to that VC versus emulator difference.
Just imagine if there was no cutscene in there for Roar's Wind and Inspire altogether. Once we find a Zora's Tunic in the left side of the main.
Could definitely have logical implications there, although, you know, magic and hovers, very likely those are both way to hero here. But, you know, all 3 could still be way to hero.
Also, toilet just a key, so that is GTG fully cleared there. Magic and hovers, though. Not a bad one.
Definitely required. Now just looking for Din's Fire and Rudo's Letter and the Iron Boots to get our banana.
And the hover boot's kind of bailing Glitchy out of here to be able to do the fortress top chest.
Oh yeah.
This is
Very nice.
It's the right order, like you say. Like, there's so much more. There are 13 checks in GTG compared to 2 that he could get in the fortress, and there was 1 item that changed his GTG and 2 items that let him get this 3rd one in fortress. And yeah, minor difference, but it paid off, except for the fact that it was a bundle of arrows.
Yeah, I concur. You know, on the other hand, if you didn't have silvers, I think you do horseback archery first.
It really comes down to how many items you're going to be missing at this point. And being able to full clear Grid of Training Grounds just kind of points you towards doing it rather than, and it's way to hero. So
Yep, meanwhile, what the hell is at the Desert Ferry? Gets
The
the
last
biggest
bomb bag.
bomb bag there, and is not gonna jump. Or no, he is. He's gonna jump into the temple. Just gonna make use of that song and warp there a bit quick.
Oh right, yeah, he hasn't actually grabbed the song yet.
Yep, just a bundle of arrows though for Glitchy there on 1000 archery. Let's see the pro strats for 1500. Making it look easy.
Gotta imagine what this Requiem Way the Hero is for, so not very surprised that he's jumping into the Spirit Temple here.
With hovers and magic in GTG, I would not be surprised to see long shot in shadow or something along those lines. And that would make Requiem Way of the Hero to pick up Epona's to get over to GTG to pick up those items.
Could also be something like Letter and Child Spirit here.
Yeah, but nothing on 1500. But you're gonna check this ferry, and then I think we're gonna see a 7-year high five. Our hover boots were in GTG, our hammer is in Goron City. That is the difference here between our two runners. Hovers and magic for Glitchy, hammer for What the Hell's Happened. Hammer and the fire medallion. And now Glitchy headed in the Spirit Temple.
Which hint stones have we not seen yet? Neither of them check the back of the lake.
What's
In
up?
fact, neither of them have been to the lake altogether, have they?
Yep, the lake, Gerudo Valley. I don't believe either one checked Medigoron or the one at the top of the crater.
I think we
You
saw
might-
Medigor, and I don't know about the other one, but we've not seen the river yet. That's a huge one.
Yep, 2 in the river, 2 in the fountain.
Oh, wow.
Iron Boot there in Child Spirit Temple. What the hell's happened? Unlocking the banana. And there is a key for Glitchy, so he's going to be here in Spirit Temple for a little bit. Let's see if there's anything else on adult side.
Yeah, what the hell's happened? Getting pretty fortunate here. Zigging where Glitchy might be zagging.
Yeah, but he is going to take some time and go over to Child Fishing and see if he picks any hint stones up with his time down here. But he can also get the silver scale item. He can go into Zora's domain, do the river. He could be child here for quite a bit and not make use of those iron boots.
How crazy would it be if Adult Spirit also had an item?
Well, if it's Din's fire, Glitchy goes the shadow. If it's just light arrows, what the hell's
Scale.
happened is gonna need to get his butt there eventually.
Scale, and both go into water their own way.
Yeah. The problem with Din's Fire being an Adult Spirit here is Glitchy could very easily orphan Child Spirit, which would have iron boots, and if he doesn't find that second scale, it's really going to hurt him.
Not to mention, if it's
The-
Din's Fire, and then that unlocks like Song of Storms into Bottom of the Well, and that could open up so many other things on the way.
There's Lens of Truth. Also, the problem with the gold scale entry into Water Temple, right now, we know we need to get into Water Temple to get to the river chest to get the boomerang. We might not be logically required to beat Morpha before we get to Ganon's Castle. Longshot could be in Ganon's Castle, and without the Longshot, not a whole lot you can do with gold scale and Water Temple, other than open the door, set forward's wind.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're playing Key Sanity and find the boss key somewhere else. And then
Yeah.
do an unaccessible hammer and hover trick to get over to the boss door.
That would make Requiem be Way of the Hero, like it is here. So only time will tell if that's going to be true or not.
What the hell now? Visiting fish people in Zora's domain. Glitchy here at the map chest in Spirit Temple. Just a piece of heart. Or a heart container, rather.
I believe that was Gerudo's Fortress.
Yeah, it was a Baronet. I missed it though.
Yeah, it looked like Fortress Foolish to me. So it might be a bit of a time save for what the hell's happened here as well as fighting the Iron Boots and Child Spirit. So
Yep, it will be interesting when he gets his butt over to GTG.
could be up to like a 2 or 3 minute time save already.
Not to mention, yeah, the items that Glitchy's missing are pretty easy to leave behind. The items What the Hell's missing that Glitchy's got are in a Way of the Hero location.
Well, what also stinks is Iron Boots are required by Requiem. Epona's song is need to get over to GTG, at least at this point logically. So Glitchy might get hung up on that bit right there. We don't know whether Way of the Hero Requiem is for Iron Boots or to get Epona's song to get into GTG. What the hell grabbed Goron Tunic there from the Diamond mini game? And Glitchymon spending a whole heck of a lot of time here in Spirit Temple, and just a bunch of keys so far for it.
Having a bit of trouble finding that last Anubis then.
Yeah, it can be pretty difficult depending on where you're standing in that room.
Nothing in domain. What the hell? And now going into the river.
All right, first look at it. About 80 minutes in here.
Another 200 bucks, but what the hell's wallet is full from doing the torch run there.
Could very well find the Ocarina of Time hint here. If it's something like Song of Storms, then the seed becomes very scary very fast.
That's right, we are almost 80 minutes in and we don't know what's blocking in our all dungeons yet. Although, yeah, I don't know. Could be all dungeons for forest access. It's 50-50 for that one.
Yeah, with not having Menuet or Saris at this point, it's I mean, yeah, I guess it is 50-50 exactly, but it's really only a matter of where it's going to be long shot and mirror shield, and if the runners can find both of those, it really becomes pretty simple for an all dungeon seed. If that does happen logically, though, oh yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, it looked like Glitchy was hung up there for a moment, not sure whether to go up to the boss key chest or whether to go up to the sunblock room. Opted for the latter.
Ooh, I believe that was a Sari song, wasn't it, on Ocarina? Or was that Sun's?
Sun song on the Ocarina of Time, according to chat. Or no, sorry, song. There is debate in chat.
I saw Sarius.
I thought I saw Sari's as well, but the hint was too long, I think, for Sun's.
Suns. 100% Sari's for sure. Alright, let's go with Sari's song. On the Ocarina. Now, where is Menuet? Is it blocked by our Forest Medallion and the Shadow Temple? Is it blocked by Rudo's letter? Stay tuned here on ZSR.
Made it sound like we're going to an ad break. We're not going anywhere, you're like, we're still here.
Yeah, it doesn't mean someone isn't getting up and going to the bathroom.
It's fair.
I mean,
Might be
if you really
watching the
want an ad
VOD.
break,
They might be
I
pausing it.
could kind of make it happen.
You can always just sell out. That's always an option.
Yeah, if you want to support the stream for Zelda speedruns here, smash that subscribe button. Really helps us out. Makes it so that we can have races like this all the time. And who doesn't like races, right?
I love this race going on right here. Glitchy finished up with Adult Spirit. Nothing. Did not go up to the boss key chest, but I don't blame him. Meanwhile, what the hell's happened? Checking the Tektite Grotto. He's learned from some fellow Canadian named ATZ. Or no, ATZ's from America, right? Too many
No,
racers.
Canadian.
He's
Canadian. Alright, good. I'm not dumb. I promise. Nothing in the Tektite Grotto. What do we get for ghost busting? Something strange in the neighborhood? Nope, just some pizza.
Bit of pizza for killing a ghost. Okay.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah,
Job
you're
well
making me-
done.
Making me think this is Triforce Town all of a sudden.
No, those are Doritos.
Ah.
What the hell's gonna do some bomb excavation before going over to the Gerudo training ground? Does have that foolish fortress hint, so gonna save a bit of time. But nothing over there but hovers and magic. Nothing that really unlocks anything for him at the moment.
Did just get
I
a
guess
nice
it-
reminder there of the boomerang as well in water, so he could head over
Yeah.
that way, pick that up on the way through.
Good point. He could check out the key logic. While Glitchy checking out Din's Ferry, clearing out that way the hero location. Double V's for what the hell? It's finally developed.
Glitchy doing this child section again now. This is what we were talking about earlier. It's actually more beneficial for him to come to Goron City as a child than an adult at this point. Even without Saria Song, it's 4 checks instead of 3. And yeah, he might actually get that Boulder Maze hammer and feel really bad about leaving earlier.
Yeah, it's still only an hour, 25 minutes into the siege, so anything could really happen. Not sure. I think he would feel behind at that point, but
Yeah, we have cleared 4 out of our 5 Way the Hero locations completely. The only thing that stands is the graveyard. Being Royal Tomb Chest and Dampe Digging. But Glitchy on the right path to grab the iron boots. Let's see if he sticks around as a child and grabs the hammer. Or if he straight away uses those to pick up the boomerang. At this point, there's not a whole lot left for our runners. They can do the Haunted Wasteland, the Treasure Chest game. They can do chickens, Dampe Digging in the Royal Tomb. They can do Deep Fire. Can go into the Water Temple to get their boomerang. Or they can do some adult Lake Hylia stuff.
We've not seen 20 skulls turned in yet.
Oh, Skulltulas. Have we even seen 10 Skulltulas turned in?
I
Don't think so.
So what the hell's with the Fortress Pass? Glitchy about to pick up the Iron Boots if he can get past this Anubis. Gets it down. It's one of our first major execution mistakes that we've seen so far. Not a bad one, as he gets rewarded.
I think What the Hell is gonna very likely full clear Gerudo training grounds here. Only missing really 2 or 3 items now.
Yeah, and he'll pick up the hover boots that put his fire medallion into logic. And he'll find magic, but neither of those actually open that much. Magic unlocks, what, 2 things right now?
Yep, the Royal Tomb and the Haunted Wasteland. I guess it opens a 1 check in the Water Temple.
I was gonna say, I guess we know that it opens Lens Game, but What the Hells hasn't done Adult Spirit yet, so doesn't have the lens.
Could be pretty likely to just go to Spirit Temple after Gerudo training grounds, especially with Requiem already having that. And it's the only thing is it's a stone dungeon. It's not progression really, so could just even leave that for, I mean, for last really, before all the other random overworld checks here. Could lean more into the logic side of things here, kind of picking up the latest items in his logical chain, or the earliest items that he has not used yet, and kind of lead him to new areas of the game that way.
Yeah, it's interesting thinking back. We had the Deku Tree Way of the Hero, and it was scale or hookshot. I
Or
don't
both.
think we've seen, or both. We haven't seen the lab dive yet.
Could just be for setting up here to go deep fire, so deep fire might just have an item here.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was just the long shot is buried away somewhere in, like, bottom of the well behind Shadow.
Mm-hmm.
But or Ganon's castle or something along those lines. But then that just narrows down your options so much. That's, you know, why we're seeing things like Glitchy and Water, because where else do you go at this point?
What the hell, about to pick up his magical prize from Pancake.
And most of Spirit or Water Temple here is going to be blocked by both bow and hookshot, as well as bombs. So not a bad play to make, especially. I mean, it is a stone dungeon, but the Spirit was as well.
Yeah, well, he's in here for his banana. He knows he's coming out here with something.
It's true.
He does have his 2 keys, but just gonna clear up some of these checks down here while the water level is lowered. It'd be interesting to see if he... No, it doesn't look like he's going for the boss key.
Kind of an interesting one to me. The boss key chest feels like it's higher value because you know that only one of those 3 behind the key doors can be a small key. Obviously, we know the river 100% is not a key. We know that's the boomerang. But I think if you see a small key on Dark Link now, you're kind of wishing you'd dive down there for that one.
Yeah, I think maybe he should have set Ferror's Win right outside of the map chest, so he could have quick access to lower the water temple if he needed to come back here. But I imagine I could see him maybe doing the dragon chest, but nothing else.
I guess the flip side to it is you can do the boss key chest with the water level at the top. So if he gets a key on Dark
Oh,
Link,
you
he could just
can,
save quit
can't
out and
you?
dive down. It's
That's
slower
right.
because you have to actually get the time to dive down to the bottom, but it can be done.
Yeah, I always hate the water temple on Skull Sanity Seeds with the one Skulltula that's bomb locked down at the bottom level.
Bizarre on Glitchy's side there. Got the hook shot to the like, stunned it, and then got hit out of it by the Tektites before he could get over the spikes.
There are the hover boots for What the Hell's Happened, as Glitchymon is nutting all over Dark Link. Nuts and the big Goron sword, and blink, and it's over.
But you're going to be picking up the boomerang, the hinted boomerang on River Chest here.
What the hell's almost about finished with GTG here. All 7 keys. Gonna find out the toilet's dead. Nothing really on the left side of the maze. There was a tunic over here.
I haven't seen really either of them pick up more skulls since getting 10, so I'm not sure how many they actually have right now. But it could be that 20 skulls does have the next item.
I'd imagine after this we see What the Hells go into the Wasteland, pick up the check there, before making the kind of next decision. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get a skull count on What the Hell's side there at least.
Yeah, there really hasn't been a whole lot on their way. You know, there's 2 in GTG, 1 all the way at the back of the horseback archery. You know, they don't have Sun Song. Spirit Temple is in a great place for him, but I think Glitchy picked up 1 or 2 there.
Glitchy also, of note there, I think got 3 or 4 items in water. So it's actually just about cleared.
And did he do the dragon chest?
Yeah, the dragon chest was a stick upgrade. He got... I didn't see what was on Dark Link, but it wasn't a key. So that already was 3 items just from Dark Link River Chest Dragon.
Speaking of the water temple, what the hell's happened hot on Glitchy's heel with that boomerang? It's like Glitchy back at the lake. Another 7-year high 5. And he's gonna do domain. So again, following in each other's footsteps. Yeah, I think so. He hasn't done Fire Temple yet. He doesn't know how free the boss key is.
Yeah, Glitchy's been playing pretty conservatively thus far, so I'm not surprised by this at all. Might even re-enter Fire just to full clear it.
I was about to say the issue with this is that it suggests that his next play is to go into Fire without the hammer, which is great if he stops at Goron City first, but if he goes into Fire, clears as much as he can without the hammer, gets, you know, even a decent way through, like, even 2-3 rooms, you're like, alright, fine, I've done a decent amount of this, and then you leave, go to Goron City and get the hammer, that feels terrible.
Might do Goron City after Zora's River? Question mark, question mark?
And I believe the Fire boss key is also hammerlocked, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. It was the Flare Dancer check. Down on level 1.
Oh, was the first chest... I know the boss key was through there. Was the first chest not a key?
The one over by...
Oh, it was the green rupee. Of course it was. Yeah, okay. So in that case, Glitchy's fine. Even if he dips fire, he won't be able to go very far into it at all. Alrighty. So, what is left for them to check at this point? I'm assuming the top priorities have to be the lab dive out of logic, in case your scale is Way of the Hero. The 2 checks they can do in the graveyard that we haven't seen yet.
I'd say chickens. You gotta prioritize chickens. What? Almost 100 minutes in.
Just where you want to be. Exactly where you want to be.
We are gonna see an extra check here in the water temple, the compass chest here by What the Hell.
Yeah, for being a jet seed, they're stumbling a little bit now, especially after What the Hell's is going to finish Water Temple and Glitchy on this child route here.
Now, I am a firm believer you can never declare a jet seed until you're in go mode. Din's Fire, Rudo's Letter proving to be the jet blockers.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh, if either one of them is on Darunia at this point, definitely not a jet seed.
Well, then I think we would have either the long shot or the mirror shield at this point.
Yeah, we'd be here for another 2 hours.
I could see Din's Fire, last locations at this point, both of those in shadow. Go from there.
Oh, I'm calling it now. The letter is on chickens. Minuetta Forest in the ice cavern.
I was gonna say, where did that wallet come from again?
Oh,
That was
geez,
from
where
Forest
was the
Temple.
wallet?
It was first check
Oh
Forest
yeah,
Temple.
lobby chest.
Forest Temple. So, King's Aura not very likely, unfortunately.
No, thankfully, just one wallet so far. Domain was also pretty barren. 2/3 barren anyway. What the hell? Now on his way to Darklink, on his way to the banana. Glitchy did turn in his big Poe, nothing but a Pizza Hut.
I have a feeling that letter's just going to be in shadow, though, so I think this Din's Fire could easily be on 10-20 skulls.
10 or 20, always a trolley option. Luckily, they do have Nocturne Shadow. And I don't think they've done Night Cack yet either. So Glitchy could make that play here.
Yeah, part of it is just waiting to go up to 20 skulls, including Knight Kakariko's Child. So very, very efficient to do that, getting all your skulls on these dungeons. Although, I don't think either of them are going to be that far ahead of 10 at this point. But with
The
6 or
runner
7... Yeah.
I was gonna say, neither runners check the wasteland.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised What the Hell didn't after GTG, but I wonder how much of it is had a game plan in mind and kind of stuck to it, and how much of it is it's one check, water is a known boomerang, and then 3 more. Was that 14, I think? What the hell
Yeah.
as well, right? Was it? Don't know how many.
And then
Glitchy's at now, but...
also
Yeah,
how much of it is oh geez, my opponent is Glitchymon.
I think that is a
Good.
consideration to take in, but I think both runners are just gonna wait until Child Nightcack here to get 20.
There's the dragon chest for what the hell, and he is warping back to the lake. I think we're gonna see some adult checks down here.
What's the point? We haven't seen. Did we see the lab roof?
I think we only saw
Nope.
adult fishing.
Yeah.
I
Glitchy.
only think we've seen child fishing.
Was it
Also,
only
where
child?
did Glitchy get that slingshot?
It was in Kakariko, Ripio.
Ah, okay. Well, so that is gonna send him here into Goron City. So hopefully he will be picking up his hammer and headed into the Fire Temple in just a hot second.
This is definitely one of those points where it's going to start to feel bad, though. You know your opponent got this earlier. The only reason Glitchy didn't is because when he tried to shoot the Goron, it got away from him. Or got too close.
And that could be making him feel a big monka sad.
You could even see like a split here of the runners not really wanted to age change, so could see Glitchy going to Nightcack like we were saying, and we could see what the hell's going to Deep Fire.
That's a point, actually, yeah. With Glitchy having the boomerang as well, that's 6 or 7 skulls around Kakariko in the graveyard, plus 1 in the maze up here. Glitchy should be able to get to 20 pretty reasonably around this area.
Oh, and getting trolled by the pot, bouncing off the rim. As it looks like what the hell getting trolled a little bit by this fish.
Might have been late on that pot.
Potheads tend to be
you're
a little
right.
late. Yes. Let the record show Yoshikayan laughed at one of my jokes.
Is that a rare occurrence now? Okay.
No, normally I hear some cricket.
Just an awkward cough in the background and move on. I feel like I do that to too many people now.
Here we go for Glitchy getting the Pizza Hut as what the hell's climbing the roof. What he should do is play Serenade real quick and shoot the sun.
Yeah, with
That's
no
what a big brain would do.
It's... yeah, it wouldn't be bad, although he can't actually get it, which is...
Not right now. He actually, I think, did that in a practice race just the other night versus the Salty Sponge. Running down over here, I think, check the lab. Day broke, and he played Serenade just to shoot the sun. I think on that seed, Lake Hallie was way here though.
And just one thing to note here, What the Hells has been jamming a lot of 1v1s in the past couple days, past couple weeks, really. I'm not sure Glitchy has, so might have a leg up in just this scenario of a bracket match, although, you know, both players are very good here.
And both of them definitely practiced up. Glitchy with a very consistent stream schedule. That reminds me, if you haven't followed these racers, make sure you give them a follow. Without them racing these races, we wouldn't have these races to watch being raced.
So Glitchy now is heading straight to fire. Picks up that hammer, kind of froze for a bit, and straight out of there. Just gone. I wonder if we'll see deep fire?
That would be, I think, the play to consider when Glitchy finds this boss key so late in the seed. You know, especially if he thinks that What the Hell grabbed that hammer early on, he might be thinking that there's no way What the Hell did deep fire, so that might set them apart at this point.
Plus,
Might
you've
even
got to
get
assume,
there.
like, it's like half the checks he's got left at this point.
They might even get there at the same time in Deep Fire. If What the Hell is just kind of audibles to go there right now.
Yeah, but nothing in the Royal Tomb. Here's 10 Skulltulas, nothing but some bombs. Is he going to the desert or is he going into Spirit? Oh no.
Oh, he still hasn't done Adult Spirit, has he?
Nope.
This is gonna give Glitchy a bit of time to catch up.
Still has to do Volvagia, and Spirit really isn't that long, especially on the adult side, so could very well see them converge and fire in Deep.
It's also a question of just how many other little checks have they done, you know, what the hell we just saw. Picking up the Composer Grave chest, and Glitchy will still need to do that at some point, and just little things here and there that could still separate them, but yeah, right now it's looking incredibly close.
It's looking like they're gonna have to go child and either do the treasure chest game, chickens, or Dampe digging.
Glitchy
And
releasing the
Glitchy,
perfect.
Glitchy with his 100% runs knows how much of a traumatizing experience Dampe digging can be. Thankfully for the randomizer, it's just a little bit easier if you remember to check them. A little difficult sometimes when you're not given Sunsung.
All they do have to do to check Dampe right now, though, is just to go to outside Ganon's castle, and it has the perfect time of day, so...
Very good point. Always gotta remember that big brain play. If you're running out of checks, and that's one of the last ones you got left.
Especially knowing that they can get 20 skulls while they're, like, either runner can get it 20 while they're there as well, so it's perfect time of day for Dampe, into the skulls in CAC, get the 20 check done. I mean, like we say, how much more is there to do after that?
Not much. I think we have 3 keys left in the water temple, 4 checks left. Or no, we probably didn't find the boss key, did we? So I think the water temple's just keys. Deep Fire, chickens, Dampe, treasure chest, haunted wasteland, and the boss key in the spirit temple.
I think there might be one left in water, but we don't know if it's available.
And then we found 3 small keys and a whole bunch of items. I'm not sure if we saw the boss key.
Alrighty, see if Glitchy dives back in.
As that light medallion, what the hell, still about halfway through Adult Spirit. Both runners now up to 11 hearts, healthy seed.
Glitchy straight out, not doing deep fire. Or yet, at least. Might just be picking up.
Would be up here, $50, right? Yeah.
Picking
Had
up
me
the
worried
ferry.
for a moment.
Yeah, I was like, is there nothing up here, right?
Up to 16 skulls for What the Hell's Happened. Definitely has the 20 skulls in the back of his mind. Ooh, and getting this one as well. Going to be up to 17. And possibly 18 by getting the Silver Gauntlets chest.
Yeah, you don't see a whole lot of racers getting that one there, but I think the hover boots. definitely a good play.
Yeah, they can come in pretty clutch depending on when you get them exactly in the seed.
Like I said, by the 2-hour mark, I think racers of this caliber should have 20 skulls.
Especially surprising that neither of them have done child cack, but if you can just pick them up as you go, why go all the way around Kakariko for those few?
I mean, at this point, they have 4 medallions, Force Temples, 5 really easy ones, all on the way. The Dongo's Cavern has a couple on the way. Deku Tree, 2 hours in, you should have 20.
Okay, Glitchy's going back into Fire Temple now. Looks like he just wanted to clear the crater checks, which makes a lot of sense. You don't want to skip those if it's an item, and clear all of the Fire Temple and do those last.
Especially, also, Crater was way the hero, but just for Nocturne. So here we got some new checks incoming in the Fire Temple. A whole bunch of keys. We have 6 keys left, and that's a Deku Shield. So this next check is guaranteed to be a key. What the hell has reached the Colossus hand? Going back? Is he going up or around to the other side? What the hell is going into Deep Spirit? This is the one check that Glitchy left orphaned. We've seen, I think, all 5 small keys and the boss key. Yeah. So this is something.
Yeah, you have to have all the keys before getting up to this point in Spirit.
Yeah, definitely all the small keys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But just picked up the boss key there for the Iron Knuckle to the Colossus hand. And that's the Stone Agony height.
Yeah, you can find secret grottos now. Wow.
Yeah, that is an addition. Very, very cool. Thankfully, no longer needed to read the hit stones. But once upon a time, that was a thing featured in the tournaments. Still an option in the Ocarina of Time randomizer, if you're so inclined. But what the hell's happened is gonna reverse over to the Wasteland check. Glitchy going deep fire.
Getting new checks all round.
We got a 50-50 on a key here. Other one may or may not be a key.
What the hell's going to get his 19th skull here and probably the 20th skull in Nightcack potentially as adult, not even going to go child.
There's the 1 key 4 needed for progression here at the top of the maze for Glitchy.
What the hell's could even get the 20th skull at Ganon's castle even and just warp Nocturne?
That would be very efficient. 2 birds with 1 stone.
Probably faster than going up on the roof in Cack.
Yeah, and then you could go Dompe's child. You have 20. Whoa!
Mirror shield, uh-oh. As Glitchy gets a 2nd key.
That is not what you wanted to see.
Seeing a little hesitation from what the hell's there. Not entirely sure what he wants to do, maybe.
I think you have to go over to the Spirit Temple and clear that.
Playing Prelude.
It opens 3 checks. That's...
You know, he should have set Ferrar's Wind up there, I think. That's what he really should have done.
Oh, he hasn't got it anywhere else yet, right?
I don't think so. And I mean, Glitchy cast it in GTG, but that I think is either dispelled or useless to us at this point. But as Emo Soda said, look at that, headed over to Ganon's Castle at that time of day. I think he's going for Dampe digging.
You can just get any of the Skulls' Child too. It would be a little bit faster than the Ganon's Castle one. And it's also on the way.
Meanwhile, Glitchy is at the upper maze.
Forest Temple had a wallet on the first chest, and then fire arrows on the Falling Room chest.
Yeah, it's a question of whether Spirit was fire locked. Didn't quite catch it on the way through though.
What the hell's also doing the chest minigame here? As Glitchy is seeing if he needs to go up to Pierre for that key. Taking Pierre's wind out. Gonna save a handful of seconds here. No, Pierre not needed.
Well, that was pretty nice. What the hell's gonna go for the treasure chest game?
LLRRL every time.
There's one of your L's.
Also, yeah, chat pointing out the mirror shield itself was locked behind Forest.
There's your second L.
Oh
No.
no.
LLR.
Oh my god.
Do we have a commentator's curse?
No.
Yeah. There's 4. Right, that was LLRL. LR. We have a witch in chat. In the commentator's booth. Oh no, off by 1? Okay, my bad. Nothing in there anyway. Hey, here's a question. If we can warp out of GTG and the Dampe race, why can't we warp out of the chess minigame?
It kind of breaks things. If you can play the Ocarina in that game, you can open a chest, play the Sun Song, and just walk straight through again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the game doesn't like it. It's basically what it boils down to there.
That's if you're silly enough to play Sun Song in the chess minigame, you deserve to break the game. Here we go, Dampe digging at the 2-hour mark. Meanwhile, Glitchy at the highest score on. Or the highest flare dance. And $20 from Dampe. Uh-oh. We're whittling down our checks.
Realizing that he's at 19. Oh, I guess he was at 9. that one makes 19, but getting the 20 skull here, right by the skull house.
2 nice easy ones to pick up as you go.
Oh yeah.
20
And
hype.
it is-
Nope,
Oh.
$5. Meanwhile, Glitchy in the deepest of fire has 7 of his small keys, I believe. Or is it 6 of his small keys?
He knows the other
know-
one is on Pierre. The only one he's not
Yeah, what-
got is the one on Pierre.
I think that's his 6th key though. Maybe not. Or no,
If you-
7th for there.
Yeah,
No,
if
you
you
should
play
have-
a fire, you end up with 2 at the end if you skip through the firewall, so he's at
Yeah, you-
1 with 1 on Pierre. That's
Only need 6 to get past into the deepest fire here. Oh, there's ladder.
Oh, there is letter. Uh-oh.
Wow.
But that's where What the Hell's Happened is going. He has Creator cleared. There's nothing he can do on the trail or Goron City. He's going into Fire Temple.
This is so Glitchy with a definite lead now. But what the hell's hot on his trail?
Yep, how long does it take What the Hell's Happened to clear out the Fire Temple? Unfortunately, we know Jabu Jabu is barren of treasure, so that's not gonna yield Glitchy Din's fire, but it could be in the fountain. It could be in the ice cavern now.
It could be the song in Ice Cavern.
Sun Song for Redead Grave Din's fire.
Song of Storms, Bottom of the Well, Kakiri. Like, there's so much that opens up. I think it's
Ew.
11 checks in the well plus 3 outside.
The quest for fire.
Yep, unfortunately, it's gonna be a bit of a drag until we get the answers that we're looking for this seed. What the hell, gonna clear out a fire temple we just saw Glitchy clear out? Glitchy gonna go into our barren temple.
I have to say, Baron Jabu is one of my favorite dungeons to see. So fast.
I think unless you're still looking for an item. You know, Glitchy might just be coming up here because he's looking for time to think. Not much else he can do anyway.
There is potential for What the Hells to check high score on before checking Megaton Hammer Chest, which would save him a little bit of time, but if he's
We
gonna...
have a bet open.
Yeah, a bet for
Din's
Din's
fire.
Very nice.
But if What the Hells is going to commit to full clearing fire here, it is a little bit more efficient to go to the hammer chest and then highest score on. So we will see in just a few minutes here.
Yeah, by the time he gets there, he knows both of them are checks. Knows there's no keys left. So the question would be, if he gets something on the highest Goron, would he still... if he found an item on highest Goron, would he bail or would he still go and do the hammer chest? Because if you're going to do both, you do the hammer chest first.
Could just set for War's Win in there as well. Just kind of...
And I do think it's definitely reasonable to bail because both of the items you could find open up a lot.
Mm-hmm. And Glitchy could still go Ice Cavern if Din's Fire is not in Jabu here, and Din's could not be in Ice Cavern potentially, and What the Hells could catch back up, so we still have a race on our hands here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not in Jabu. Might be in the fountain. That would really give Glitchy the game.
Oh, right, because of the Foolish End for Jabu as well. Forgot about that.
Yeah, I think on What the Hell's side, what you want to see here is a song like Song of Storms, or I guess just Song of Storms, really. I guess maybe Forest Access in the Ice Cavern? If it's like Saria's, the question then becomes, do you do Skull Kid, do you do Darunia, or do you push those Firelock checks? Because suddenly your Forest Temple's in Logic.
Yeah, I think What the Hell's best bet is something behind the Mirror Shield. I can't see Glitchy going back to the Wasteland anytime soon. Cleared child and adult. He's cleared out GTG. He's got nothing but that out there.
In which case, yeah, you want Ice Cavern to be Saria's. If you're on, so from What the Hell's side at this point, if you're rooting for What the Hell's here, you want Ice Cavern to have Saria's and Glitchy to push the Saria locked checks, while What the Hell's follows along behind, gets Saria's, realizes that puts the Mirror Shield into Logic, and goes straight to Spirit, and it's something in there.
We are not out of the woods for
Saria's.
Oops All Dungeon.
OOT was Saria, so it would need to be Minuet, yeah. Sorry, chat. My bad.
A 66% chance that Shadow Medallion, or the Force Medallion, rather, is blocking Minuet of the Forest. What levels up to 12 hearts. Gonna grab his key, see that Pierre not needed. Especially with those hover boots right inside GTG.
We could stop light arrows being blocked by some number of things.
Spirit Temple.
Yeah.
I just realized actually, with all that I was saying about the worst case scenario, I was thinking way too shallow on that one. The worst thing for
we
Glitchy
don't have
would
the light
be
arrows.
the worst thing for Glitchy would be the minuet putting Mirror Shield and everything into logic, and also finding the long shot that leads to nothing.
I think Mirror Shield is in logic, right? You have opponents to get to the fortress. You can open up the gate
arrows. The fire arrows are in forest, and we don't have forest access still.
Oh yeah, boy, that's so silly. Season 4, I'm voting for enabling Mido skip into logic.
Well, you know, you got the supporter in What the Hells. That was one of the things he said coming into this.
I think for the top 32, a lot of the logic is kind of more streamlined for new racers.
I really like them being on the same thing, and I also think the top 32 having to play around bait hints is quite nice, personally. I can see both sides of it, but I like having that bait in there every now and then.
Yeah, in essence, it's still a randomizer. There's still, you want things to be random. Otherwise, you know, why not just play the base game where execution is everything, right?
We have seen some epic bait here in the bracket so far.
Yeah, it's a very nice rank throw by Glitchy there. And skipping the box, trying to go for this trick here. Get the door away. Being able to roll and open it on the same frame. And gets it first try, no problem.
I think at this pace, Glitchy's gonna be a Jabu ahead. All depends on where's that Din's fire.
Yeah, I've spoken a lot about like the best and worst cases for, you know, if you're looking for What the Hell's to come back into this. If you're on Glitchy's side here, you want him to go straight to the Fountain Fairy after Jabu, find Din's Fire there, and then just find the light somewhere in Shadow. Nice pot kill.
Yep, that would be ideal. Fortunately, lights can be anywhere. No hint guaranteed except from Ganondorf himself. What the hell? Moments away from picking up his Rudo's letter, making a beeline for the Temple of Time in Jabu. His Glitchymon just now rescuing the princess. And that's right, chat. Glitchymon confirmed. Pothead. Pot strats for Baronade feels bad, man.
You missed the Goron pot strat Baronade, like, it's apparently all the seeders today.
You won't hear me complaining. Here's the second Fortress Baron hint here in the fountain.
Alright, is he coming back here? I assume Glitchy's next play after this would just be immediately to Ice Cavern.
Yeah, not much left for him. It's daytime, so he's not checking chest or the Dampe digging game. It's not making his way to do chickens. He's picking up his Master Sword. Where's he going? I think Mochilla in chat has discovered why Dampe sleeps so dang much of the time.
Gonna say, given what we were saying about this seed, it's designed for Glitchy at this point, right?
He's headed to Ice Cavern. That's the densest location he's got.
Glitchy's gonna stop the Goron first after failing it 2 hours, well, not quite 2 hours ago, but a while ago.
We have been here for over 2 hours. Anyone just joining us? We are racing the Ocarina of Timer randomizer, looking for all 6 of our medallions to open up the way to Ganon's castle. We have 5 of those. Looking for Din's Fire to enter the Shadow Temple. Both of our racers that 1 item from the castle, 2 from Go Mode. Also need to find the light arrows to take care of the pig, take down Ganondorf, and serve up some bacon.
So I might be wrong on this one, but if they go through Ice Cavern, get Minuet at the end, and no items, are there 4 checks in logic at that point? Minuet would put the Mirror Shield in, so that's 3 checks in Spirit. You get the 3 Mirror Shield lock checks there, and chickens.
Yep, and there might be 1 thing in Water Temple, but I don't think so.
Pretty sure it would have to be in Spirit at that point. It's super likely that it would be. Although we could see both runners converging on chickens, and, well, that would be kind of interesting.
At almost 2.5 hours in, it would look like. Nothing here in the fountain. Did Glitchy dive down?
Nope. Straight
Alrighty.
through.
Straight into the cavern.
I guess if he's committed to full clearing, or more accurately, I guess if he's in a rush for 1 item, it's faster for him to clear Ice Cavern and then get that on the way out towards King Zora if he's not found anything. And obviously, I think the Ice Cavern checks are more dense, and obviously if he finds it, he just leaves and goes straight to Shadow.
But if he finds it on the bottom afterwards, he feels bad.
Yeah. And also, if he finds Din's Fire in here, and then has to come back here later because the light arrows are at the bottom of the lake.
That would be awesome. A hell of a troll. Yeah, to answer some confusion in chat, Pyro Arrow entry into Shadow Temple is not allowed in this rule set. Only Din's Fire. Join the Discord, join the chat to voice your opinion on the matter. Incoming first check here in the Ice Cavern. It'd be a whole heck of a lot easier with 3 fire arrows. Shoot it from the ground. Shoot it from the ground, hook shot the enemy up, hover boot over, out of there in 30 seconds or less. If it's not in randomizer 6.6.6, I'll be disappointed.
Next April Fools.
Oh, even better.
So Glitchy's got 3 more checks in Ice Cavern, 2 just outside, and a song.
And a partridge in a Canadian maple tree. Or maybe it's a gway hanging out in the maple tree. Up to 13 hearts, healthy boy. 1 chest left. What the hell's happened? Making their way through the lower intestines of Lord Jabu Jabu. Clearing out some parasites. Being a good Boy Scout. About to actually take on the easiest mini-boss of the game. Despite what you might have thought as a child.
Don't see enough swag strats for this one. I'm always disappointed.
Speaking of swag strats, Glitchy, oh, missing the backflip. Attempt number 2, and he makes it. Very nice. Ice Cavern can look really sexy. Just like that.
You need to learn all the Ice Cavern jumps. Partially because they're faster, but more because they look good.
Yes, especially because they look good. One final one going for the ground jump. I don't know if I've ever seen that. Did he get a ground jump off the case, Ricochet?
Yeah, think so.
Is that allowed in accessible rule set? I don't know.
Yeah, it's still just a ground jump.
Yeah, it should be similar to the King Dodongo ground jumps that you can store, right? So.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's the same
right,
thing
that
with
makes
the
sense.
strat, yeah.
Suppose.
But
yeah, that's fun. And
It is-
just mini wet for Forest Temple access.
Oh,
Luckily, that means all dungeons is less likely. We could still run into some oops dungeons. Let's see what the Fountain End domain holds for us on their last check. As what the hell entering the Baronade fight. But good news, Dinspire is not gonna be in the bottom of the well. It's not gonna be in the graveyard. It's not gonna be in Kokiri Forest or Death Mountain Trail. I suppose our light arrows could be in those locations.
yeah, light arrows still everything to play for on that end. But yeah, after this, Glitchy is hoping it's King Zora right now, because otherwise, where do you go from there?
Chickens or to the wasteland.
Nothing from a fish.
He is going to Lake Hylia. I don't think he's done the adult lake checks. I'm pretty certain he's not going back into the temple.
He's definitely not done the lab dive, at least, because he was here without iron boots. I think he did adult fishing when he set Scarecrow. Oh, although the direction he's walking in says otherwise.
Yeah, but what the hell has finished Jabu Jabu? Where do they go? They have the mirror shield. They have a little more open to them.
This is a really interesting point as well, because there's been a lot of cases in races where runners, they'll feel like they're slightly behind and they want to, take a a risk, and they'll skip something that they'll assume the other person's already done. And it costs them, because they were actually ahead, and then leave behind this one location that has their last major item. The other person catches up, and that's it.
Yeah, never
What the
make
hell?
assumptions playing a randomizer.
What the Hell's here might do the opposite of that, where What the Hell's just plays the most consistent, safe play, because he's seen how much it's backfired for other people. And in this situation, he is a little bit behind. And going into Spirit might be the better play, even if it's not the most consistent one.
I'm gonna refresh. I'm not sure if that's happening to anybody else, but What the Hell is kind of playing the robot on.
I think that is on his end.
Goddamn Canadians. I mean, we love you, Canada.
I was going to say, why can't he be more like this other runner who is also Canadian?
Yeah, Canada's awesome.
What the hell is going up to the ice cavern? Glitchy clearing out the lake. Running out of checks. Both these runners are wondering where the dot done is. Wondering where the dot dins is. That might be interesting for a Freaky Friday race. Every time you get a major item, you have to dot it in the chat. Dot slingshot, dot boomerang, dot dins.
That would be amazing. See everyone like immediately at the start of the race, you just like walk out and go straight to the market, and you see everyone just like dot strength, dot strength, dot strength. You're like, all right, Mido's house later.
Or even better, right? You skip Kokiri Forest checks, you find nothing in Mido's, and then you see a bunch of dot hook shots, dot hammer. And you're like, oh, I wonder what was in the Kokiri Zord chest.
That'd be a scary race.
That would be so many mind games. I kind of want to do that now.
Alright, you heard it here first, folks. Let's get it done. Freaky Friday. Every Friday. Restreamed every other Friday. Here on ZSR.
Do we know what they're doing this week?
Yeah, it's so it's beatable only, or all locations reachable is off, so not everything will be available, and there are no ocarinas.
What this is exciting. Or Glitchymon rather, picking up the mirror shield. Might be going back into the spirit temple. Don't think they have any other choice. Yep. We're going into deep spirit, folks.
So now, where we were saying earlier, this was What the Hell's hope, having that mirror shield and wanting it to be something. Now that Glitchy's doing that, yeah, What the Hell's needs it to be chickens.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I think Glitchy has the lead either way. I think after the ice cavern, and he gets Minuet to put his mirror shield in the logic, I think What the Hell's Happened makes this same play, whether it's chickens or not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can't imagine he won't.
So is the amount that Glitchy is ahead, was that all due to his opening route?
I guess so, yeah. The opening, I think, was a big thing. I definitely think he gained a lot of that. Just by having all of those warp songs to travel around slightly more efficiently. The fact that he managed to go over to GTG and that little bit earlier, it nearly backfired by missing out on the hammer and irons that were kind of out the way, but he then ended up just getting them fairly efficiently still anyway.
Yeah,
there
and
it
that's
is.
despite Glitchy clearing out Gerudo Fortress, which What the Hells was able to skip via a Baron hint.
Mhm.
There's been some variation in their routing here, but a lot of the decisions they've made have been very similar, to the point that depending on where this Dins is, what the hell happened might not be able to climb back into this, but still lots of time left in the race. Still a whole Shadow Temple left.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think at this point they've checked all the same checks,
I was gonna
other
say
than the
Glitchy.
Deep Spirit here and Chickens.
Yeah, hadn't done the top one here, but I think Glitchy hasn't turned in 20 skulls,
True.
and that might be about it.
Gets his Stone Agony. He's super hype. JK. What the hell's also going for the swag backflip, but misses it a second time, going for the ground jumps. Slingshot in Deep Spirit.
Not quite what you're after there.
Certainly not. Also still looking for light arrows, but I think it's gonna come down to the Ganondorf hint.
I can only assume they'll just be en route in Shadow.
Oh, that's right. We still need Shadow. Yeah, most likely. I would agree.
That actually is one of those decisions that could really make a difference here as well. Is like, if you get your keys and boss key early enough in Shadow, do you set for Roars or do you just clear it while you're there, knowing there's a reasonable chance the lights are in there somewhere? Like, I think you probably
Yo.
set for Roars just because of the odds they're in Ganon's castle.
Incoming Twin Rova. One more Iron Knuckle, but no issue with that big Goron sword. I mean, what the hell's happened? He now knows Forest Temple and his fire arrows, thus his mirror shield, are in logic. One more check in this area. He's running out of checks. He's feeling bad, man. Twin Rova also incoming, so Glitchy feeling bad, man. Definitely one of the hardest bosses in the game.
I'm just so ready for Dens not to be here.
I can't wait.
Oh yeah, I can't wait either. This is my bet. This is my baby.
And if it's not here, I mean, is it just chickens? Have we seen everything else?
According to my tracker, I've just got chickens left.
Amazing.
You wanted a good race? You've got a good race. We are 2.5 hours in, looking for Din's Fire. 2 checks left. Twin Rova, Child Chickens. What the hell is gonna clear out the Spirit Temple?
Possibly a misstep earlier, if not setting that for Warswind earlier here in the Spirit Temple.
Mm-hmm.
Major pog if we pick up the long shot. Long shot would put our water temple in completion, and thus Saria's song for all dungeons. Still a possibility. Skull Kid and Darunia have not been hinted at. While neither location is away the hero, that doesn't mean Jack Diddley squat.
And if it's not here or on Chickens, well, then it's just all dungeons, right?
Yeah. Well, we would need the long shot. We would need the long shot in order for it to be all dungeons.
Yeah, I don't know if we ever quite figured out whether we got 3 or 4 items in water.
Well, there's
But,
the long shot.
Is that the long shot? I think you are a little bit ahead.
Oh, sorry.
That's all good. It's just
Hell of a
yeah,
long shot to get.
that's all Dungeons in Logic. So that actually opens two things: shoot the sun, and then all Dungeons for Saria's song.
And if we did only get 3 items in water, I think the only check we didn't see was the central pillar, which means that would be the boss key, and Morpher would have the 4th item.
Yeah, I haven't seen more for the central pillar, the bow target, or what was the last one?
No, no one looked
Oh,
at
the
Shoot the
boss
Sun
key
yet.
chest. Yeah, what the hell's had a
Oh,
great
no,
opportunity
boss key
to.
chest.
He didn't want to do the boss key chest. We were talking about that.
Yeah.
He had
I
Burrow's
thought what
win
the hell
too.
did it afterwards, but no, okay.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So we are in the water temple looking for Din's fire. But yeah, he spent 2 keys. He has 1 key. I don't think he has the boss key, so I think they're all keys. This was a piece of garbage here in the compass chest. We saw this one from What the Hell. What a double dip of water. For your long shot from Stone Spirit Temple, Twin Rova. Mirror Shield locked by Fire Arrows in the Forest Temple, which is logically locked by Minuet in Ice Cavern. Oh boy.
This is beautiful. This is everything I want in a seed in a race. Like we were saying early that this looked like it was going to be a jet, and we were kind of just like, all right, this thing here, this decision here, this one item might swing the whole thing. Oh no, we got an actual race.
I still think Glitchy in the lead. No questions about it.
Mhm. Yeah, What the Hell's has done more of water, but not so much more that
Yeah,
it's
he doesn't have the boss
significant.
key, for example. Oh, but that's gonna help What the Hell. Hurting Glitchy, knocking him back. Tektite also trying to troll him there. He's got to be careful. Ooh. These objects here in the water temple not playing for Glitchy. What the Hell getting set back? He left these 2 checks orphaned off here. There's the
Right.
boss key, Vanilla. Yeah, so the other checks in the water temple are all small keys, including Morpha.
Did we see 4?
Yes.
Huh. Fair enough. I only remembered 3.
Right, because we did Dark Link and we've done the boss key chest.
Darklink River and the Dragon were the 3 that I remembered.
Yeah, I mean, just by logic standpoint, we couldn't have gotten both 2 Dark Link and the boss key chest without 4, unless you save scum them. But can't do that this time, not with the banana on the river chest. Boss key on the boss key chest. What the hell is heading over to Twin Rova? It's not terribly far away from Glitchy, just I wonder if they'll go straight for that vanilla boss key chest. Or not. But to answer chat, I am very confident, especially with Morpha dropping that small key. 5. Or no, I guess we do still have an item in Water Temple. Central Bow Target and Central Pillar. One of them is definitely a key.
I wonder if that's the window then. Glitchy shoots the sun here, goes and picks up Sarias and does the Saria checks, and if What the Hell just goes, clears water, and it's also... Oh, Glitchy was too late for time of day there.
Oh,
Wow.
no.
Oh, wasting time. That could be big. Let's see how this plays out.
Oh, he stood too far away. He just didn't go close enough. Oh my... That's such a... Oh no.
Yep. So Glitchy has completed all his stone dungeons. We're gonna pick up the ocarina at a time. Not using the owl. We're gonna walk out the market. And this seed, 100% required fire arrows, unlocking the mirror shield, unlocking the long shot in Spirit Temple. Most likely, it's either blocked by Saria's Song, which is what Glitchy's about to pick up. It's either going to be in the Lost Woods, Goron City, or it's going to be chickens. And hey, Glitchy's going to be a child, so he can do all three. So Glitchymon definitely in the lead. What the hell's happened? A whole water temple behind.
But yeah, Glitchy will go to get 3 checks here as child, while What the Hells will get 2 that Glitchy missed as adult. 1 in water potentially, and then shoot the sun. So it's turning out to be pretty even.
Yep, and no shame for What the Hell's Happened. Has played an amazing race so far. Managed to skip the fortress even, which Glitchy did not, but I think what you all were saying a few minutes ago, that opening route was what set these racers apart.
It could still all come down to execution as well, you know, if Glitchy, like, even voids once in Shadow, that might be enough to swing the lead here.
Yeah, I think you might need to avoid a couple times in Shadow. Have a pretty troll bongo fight. Did you see What the Hell's checking the sun right there? Nope, too late, buddy. You missed your opportunity. That would really swing this around in What the Hell's favor if Shoot the Sun is the answer. In which case, long shot was still required. But let's see where he heads first. Looks like checking his map a little bit there.
I'm going to assume first stop is the boss key chest. The question is, does he go back in for that 1 remaining check, or does he...
Double magic from Skull Kid. Uh-oh. Shoutouts to 100%ing the seed. Darunia incoming. What the Hell has made the right turn to Albuquerque?
What?
Darunia, are you the man? Darunia is not the man. $5, Glitchymon. Where are you headed? Headed to CAC. It's chicken times. 2 hours, 40 minutes in. That's what you want to see.
Left.
Glitchy,
Everybody get in Discord. Send Kuiper a ping. Check out twitch.tv/Zelda Speedruns right now. Because Kuiper don't care. Do it. Ping Kuiper. I insist.
So I mentioned briefly earlier, we for the latest podcast episode, we had What the Hell's on, and one of the comments I very distinctly remember was, Chickens is not having to do chickens is great. If you get a hint that chickens is dead, that's amazing because then you don't have to do chickens. So if What the
Trying
Hell's
to
now
compete.
loses to chickens on this,
Sounds like he was trying to compete with my make sure you follow these racers without them racing these races. We wouldn't have these races to watch being raced. I hope he's not trying to do that. Oh, and he misses Morpha. Feels bad, man. Chickens. Also feels bad, man.
I don't know if I'm ahead on What the Hell's side. I think I am.
Fucking Morpha. Shield dancing the blues away. But yeah, and then look at Glitchy checking. Ooh, Glitchy hadn't checked 10 skulls? Glitchy hadn't checked 10 skulls.
Any.
240
Oh, wow.
in. Oh, he checked.
He hasn't even
Oh,
got
damn.
20.
Uh-oh. Doing chickens before 10 skulls.
So if it's not on chickens, does he rush 20 skulls without doing shoot the sun?
I guess so.
Oh.
Yeah, he probably just leaves, gets time of day, comes back in, gets the remaining child cack ones.
Yeah, we're gonna see shoot the sun here before chickens, though. Small key there for what the hell.
So where does What the Hell go from here? I assume shooting
Oh,
the
well,
sun, firstly.
Yeah, shoot the sun and then a Zokarina at a time. He's
But
got to.
So that opens up 2 checks, and there's 1 left in water. He might actually dip back in.
I don't think he's that crazy. I don't think it's that cold up there. And put my foot in my mouth. We are going to see Andrew almost at exactly the same time. It's on you! No, it's not. What is that? Is that the nut?
It's in water!
What the hell? It's in water temple? Oh, no. Water temple strikes again. It is in the central pillar, or it is in our Bolok check in water temple.
We have been saying for this whole race, like, did water have 3 or 4 items? Was it only 3? I think there might be something left in water, and of course it comes down to that as the last check. Like the last
and do you know
thing in
what?
the game.
If this isn't just oops all dungeon, this is an oops, it's not all dungeons.
Oh, this is
It's a double
the
oops.
most amazing bait chain. One into the next, into the next.
And so, what is Glitchy doing?
Yeah, the second wallet's not available. Who knows where that is? So, yeah, Sword Tunic could be way the hero.
Looks like Glitchy's gonna check 20 skulls, and then does he wait out the sun, or does he go into Water Temple? This could be the time that What the Hell's needs.
He was at
This
13.
is a super close.
Glitchy was
13?
at 13 during chickens. He checked during chickens.
no.
He was at 13 at that point.
Okay, then he must be going down to the lake. Why isn't he playing Serenade?
He just set time of day there. He's got to kill time of day now.
Oh,
'cause he set it
Tektite
at
Grotto.
Ganon's.
He's never checked out the Tektite Grotto. He forgot the reason he won Season 1.
We did see this earlier from What the Hells, didn't we?
Yep, we certainly did. So Glitchy down to just a handful of checks. The Shoot the Sun one, though, is really bad. He's going to Cack. Oh, I bet he hasn't done the Royal Tomb either. He's cleaning up these checks What the Hell's already has, giving What the Hell's even more time to catch up. He's warping to the forest. He's gonna check Skull Kid. He's gonna check Darunia. He's gonna be down to chickens. He's gonna then be down to the Water Temple. This is super hype. They are 100%ing their seed, checking all available checks. They are last checking their go mode item, Din's Fire. And we still need to find Lidos after that.
And we said from the start this was going to be, you know, two of the highest execution runners in the tournament, and it's going to come down to it because they're both full clearing. That means that your execution is absolutely paramount.
Yep, and Glitchymon still hasn't done the chess game. So we are looking at a +3 hour seed. Not a sub 3, +3.
And we were, what, 2 items from go mode at about an hour 40?
And think how early in Logic that was with the Iron Boots, the hook shot, bow and bomb back.
It's crazy to think that if they hadn't had the hint telling them the boomerang was there, they might have been more likely to find it.
And Glitchy, I think, is a bit stuck.
I think he went to do Dampe digging. He saved when he entered Ganon's castle, then went to the Tektite grotto to check that, and then didn't reset. He just warped. So the time of day was then wrong because he'd warped to the Tektite grotto.
Now he's gonna be doing the chess minigame. What the hell is going to CAC? Got about a 5-6 minute difference. Where does Glitchy go after the chess minigame? And get your guesses in chat. What's Glitchy's chess minigame gonna be? We got it right. Team left, you're out.
I'm already wrong.
Double right.
Both these runners must just be nervous as all hell.
Yeah, both last location, looking at the IRC like they've not finished yet, they've not finished.
But they're both checking such trolley locations that they know. They should know it's close. You know, doing chickens almost at 3 hours in. I mean, if this was the answer, either Glitchy is right here with him, or Glitchy is already done. I think
We had a
same
lens
thing with
game in chat.
yeah. I think with Glitchy, you're feeling the same thing. All right, I'm doing chess minigame almost 3 hours in. If this is it, What the hell's probably hasn't done this yet.
Yeah, there's no way either of them feel good about what they're doing, but they're like, alright, it's got to be something terrible like this. And yeah, they don't know that it's even more terrible than they realized.
And Glitchy has just reverted back to his safe state before checking the Tektite grotto, I think. Not 100% sure.
The crazy part of all of this is that everything's been in logic since outside of the Forest Temple wasn't for a while, but it's back in now, so everything here has been in logic. If just the Mirror Shield was in Shadow instead, they still would have been able to go into water. I guess more for key logic might not have worked out.
I mean, if the Mirror Shield hadn't been fire a lot, you know? The Mirror Shield had been in, like, the Tektite grotto. I don't think it would have been baited them as much to doing all dungeons.
Mm-hmm.
But because it was blocked behind Minuet in the Ice Cavern, and Fire Arrows being in Forest Temple, and needing Din's Fire at that point, the Mirror Shield was huge bait in this seed. So Glitchy in Night Cack, farming up some skulls. What the hell's happened is checked his chickens. He is out of checks other than 1 out of 2 checks in the Water Temple. Central Pillar, bow target.
What the hell's has just crept ahead with that, right?
Yep,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I don't know what else he
said
has.
before, I'll say it again. At 2 hours, you need 20 skulls. Either in the bank or already checked.
don't think What the Hell's has done Big Pose yet. I do think he still has to do that one. But that's very easy to pick up on the way over to water and either double back to turn in or turn in after water.
There's really nothing too much left for What the Hell's Happened here as adults, so gotta imagine he's gonna do like Big Pose or something here and then just head straight to water.
This is absolutely beautiful. Just for so long this race was, oh, this person's got one thing and this person's got the other, who's going to find what first? And then it looked like Glitchy had just taken it. It got ahead, kept hold of that lead, and was just constantly a dungeon or so ahead. And
Yeah, it was that Rudo's letter in Deep Fire.
We had no idea what we were in for at that point.
Oh, there we go. Almost got away, but What the Hell's Happened proving to be an awesome Ghostbuster. And Glitchy gonna be checking 20 skulls at about the same time. A few more to pick up. But What the Hell has definitely run back into the lead. We are going back into Water Temple. It will be What the Hell's third time? Yeah, both these runners are gonna have to go back a third time into Water Temple.
Feels bad, man.
Yeah, first to get the boomerang, Lord Banana, from the river chest. The second to kill Morpha because of an all dungeons bait. And now going back, Din's Fire guaranteed to be in here, or our restreamer Shadow Magi somehow broke the randomizer.
I'd believe either at this point.
We're
still
at
not
a
over.
50-50.
Still have a Shadow Temple here, so something could go horribly wrong for either runner in Shadow.
Right, earlier we were saying that, Glitchy was slightly ahead, but Execution and Shadow Temple could swing that slightly towards What the Hell's. Now it's the other way around. It's still exactly the same scenario, Two of the best Execution runners. All it takes is one slip up and the other one will absolutely capitalize on that.
Oh, and Glitchy he feels bad enough. He's gonna wait. Otherwise, if Glitchy didn't wait, if he wasn't waiting for the sun here, they would be literally neck and neck, like 30 seconds apart. This is gonna split it to 60, if not 90 seconds between these racers. This is time Glitchy does not need. He cannot afford this right now. But it was a big mess up being too far away. He killed Morpha. He was too far away from the platform when he shot the arrow. You have to be standing on this platform.
Trying to shoot the moon there, I guess.
He's got some extra ammo.
This has to just every second that he spent here, like.
Yep. And like I said, he was like 30 seconds away from What the Hell entering the Water Temple. But he just remembered.
Yeah, we said earlier that, people will always go, oh, my opponent will have done this, so I shouldn't. And a lot of the time that backfires. It's literally the last check for What the Hell's, by the way.
Yep.
And I
think this one is Central Pillar.
The last 15 minutes, these runners have probably been feeling that way. So somebody should really check in on them, see if they're doing okay here.
But just
the
like
last check,
something like the Shoot the Sun. If you've got this far into a seed, the other person is going to also have done water by that point. Do you really want to check Shoot the Sun at that stage? I feel like at that point you just go straight into water because you're like, if it's Shoot the Sun, they've got it. They got it when they beat water.
But then he would be less behind if it was Shoot the Sun, as opposed to going into Water Temple and then shooting the sun. Like it's a tough gamble to make. Glitchy chose to wait for the sun. No guarantee, you know, it's not like being in the water temple changes your time of day.
Mhm.
And,
Yeah.
I mean, one thing that Glitchy could do at this point is go into the central pillar before shooting the target. But the length of checks, I don't think that's what he's going to do. He could also have set Pharaoh's win right there, like an hour and a half ago.
Where was the Zora tunic, by the way?
Gruta training
Source tunic,
grounds.
yeah, GTG on the left side of the maze, I think.
Amazing. So GTG was not the magic,
Oh,
but it was the
Way of the
Hobbs and
hero
Zora
for tunic? That's great.
tunic.
Great piece of logic right there. That's something What the Hell was talking about in his pre-tournament interview, that those kind of logic checks kind of hold racers of his caliber back, I think. There we go.
There it
Din's
is.
Fire. 2 hours, 57 minutes, sub 3 hour, and we are in glow mode. That's right, glow mode. We need the light arrows. Can we get a bet in chat, please, Restreamer? Where are the light arrows?
Who won the bet for Dens? Who actually got Central Pillar?
I've got to assume
Nobody.
nobody.
Nobody's that crazy, not even me. But Glitchy going for the bow target, not the central pillar.
Come on, light arrows in light trial. Strength 3 on the boss key chest in Ganon's castle.
Yeah, it could be here in Shadow, here in the bottom of the well. You know, it could be on Song of Storms check, Frogs 1, 2 of the grottos. It could be the Redead Grave, or as Yoshi said, it could be Gold Gauntlets blocked in the Light Trial. Could be in some other trial in Ganon's Castle. We don't know.
Quite interesting. You don't tend to see with the bets. It's very rare that you have something where it's Ganon's castle for every bet. That like terrible
There's not a
direction this
whole
race
lot.
has gone in. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we're gonna go to the Temple of Time, get the song there, and then go to Ganon's Castle to get our hint.
What if it just says graveyard?
Graveyard, we need to get the Sun Song. That's not big of a deal. We know where our songs are.
Right.
The worst thing would definitely be Gold Gauntlets blocked, and then the bottom of the well. Otherwise, we have the game available to us, full clear.
Both going to be in Shadow Temple here. What the hell's happened as a very, very slight lead over Glitchy at the moment.
Definitely still enough that execution can pull it closer, but yeah, Glitchy is definitely hoping the lights are somewhere else, not Shadow.
Not getting locked by the Giddos here, so nice start for Shadow for What the Hells.
Collecting some silver rupees, dodging the visible spinning blades. Pizza Heart, both our runners up to 13 hearts, healthy boys.
Yeah. Just the one key in those opening 4 checks as well, so few more to go further in. Oh, I was ahead there.
Is the long shot required for the boomerang?
I don't think so, no. The boss key was behind...
Boss key was vanilla.
Yeah, the boss key was vanilla. There was a key on Morpher, but there were no other keys. Oh, maybe that says means yes. Maybe that means it was. I always forget how water works. Water's weird one.
There was the extra key on Morpha, so I think all the other ones were accessible without the long shot. Chat pointing out we may be ahead. I don't know about my co-coms, but there's a whole bunch of syncing and stuttering back and forth on my end.
Yeah, I spent half the race being behind with What the Hell's stream and the other half being ahead, which I think is just to do with the stream stuttering on What the Hell's side earlier, which happens.
I thought you were gonna say it's due to his name. What the hell's going on?
But yeah, it's been a bit glitchy on this end.
It's the second key for What the Hell's Happened.
Oh, are you trying to up my what the hell's fun with the glitchy fun?
It's supporting. It was doubling down on it.
Yeah, we should have known what we were getting into just by the names of these racers. We should have expected a seed like this. 3 hours in, looking for the light arrows. We had hover boots in Magic a whole hell of a long time ago. Way the hero GTG. Din's Fire being the troll. Stone Water after killing Morpha. After doing our Ocarina time checks.
I mean, yeah, like, at the time where we saw GTG, that we knew that we were 2 items from glow mode, I guess. 2 items from where we are now. They were just missing Din's and Russo's letter, and that was maybe an hour 40, like a bit under, into the race. And yeah, nearly double that. Found 2 more items.
Who would have thought that there's something worse than chickens 2-3 hours in? Something worse than doing all dungeons. Yeah, just a random check in the water temple.
Yeah, the fact that both of them did it, it's a real, I don't know, confidence shaker might be the right word to use for that.
Yeah, confidence shaker for these two. Hopefully it's a wake-up call to some other racers. Don't be memeing up your water temple. You got those iron boots, and I don't care if you have long shot or not. Sometimes it's the play to make. This isn't the first time in the brackets we've seen an early dip of water temple potentially paying off for the racers, and them not taking it. I see What the Hell's now bombing the skull pot here. Glitchy heading into the falling spike room, just collecting some rupees here first. Has to pay the toll. If you don't pay the toll, that Beamos don't eat no roll. And the sink is eating up some of the racer's rolls for me.
If I'm not mistaken,
I hope everybody enjoyed that.
Glitchy just walked up to the door to get through to the falling spike room, realized he's not allowed to glitch through it, and went back to collect the rupees.
Yeah, that's what happens when your name's Glitchymon. He forgot he's got to pay the toll. Going in deep shadow. Still need one more small key on What the Hell's side. Still need the light arrows. Oh, and gets a hug from the Gibdo.
Well, it's a couple seconds lost there.
Say no to Gibdo.
Kind of crazy we can consider that in the difference between these runners right now. So
Oh,
late in
there
the
they
seeding.
are.
Yeah, light arrows and right before boat and shadow here.
And
so
that's
pretty unexciting
def-
place.
definitely big for What the Hell's though. That is absolutely what he wanted to see here because he's got the edge right now, and I'm sure he'll look back afterwards, realize how close this was, and figure out that if it had been like bottom of the well or something, it was just more opportunities for that lead to slip away.
Yep, I really though think the biggest mistake of the match, Glitchy missing that sun. I think we should rename the sun Glitchymon. Maybe we should create the myth of Glitchymon, who pulls the sun across the sky in his golden chariot. Oh, Glitchy Sun, there we go. Glitchy Sun. Wax on, wax off. Do not stand too far away from the fire arrow platform.
I have no idea what just happened.
You know, because in Japanese, you say S-A-N after the end of someone's name to indicate that that's their name.
Right. Gotcha. Yeah. Didn't make the connection.
I went deep into my martial arts movie background.
There's the second wallet.
And a lot of Monka est for our chat not making any of the correct bets. Co-commentator winning the bet.
For novelty value. Not because I was right, but you know, close enough.
Yeah, it's your fault. You had all the checks available, and nobody guessed the second Gibdos room?
Yo, Moe was the person who also got the lens game right earlier. 2 victories in one day.
Oh, that's spooky.
Glitchymon now playing the lullaby, about to board his vessel down the love tunnel. Tunnel of Love with the Stalfos. The love tunnel. What the hell's happened is showing off some speed strats, long shot plus the scarecrow. Saves you a cutscene.
Now, I'm pretty sure for this bongo upcoming for What the Hell's Happened here, we're going to see him do some spin strats. He usually does those. Instead of the usual just timing it out to either Skater Boy or, you know, a couple
like
other
quick
songs.
spin strats. Quick spins are so nice.
Yeah.
Not our ice arrow meme strats, but I don't think either racer would opt for those, even if they had the ice arrows.
Oh, here we go.
Quick spinning away. His controller is still up for it. And if Glitchymon makes the right play, he can do one less check here in the Shadow Temple.
Yeah, bronies.
Yeah, bongo taps at the right BPM. It's also Skater Boy. It's also I Get Around.
There's a lot of things.
I looked up a playlist. I remember the one that I tried to use was a song by Shinedown, but I'm bad. I have no sense of rhythm, so I couldn't do it.
It is a common
Oh,
beats per
Aha!
minute.
Take on Me. That's another one.
Missed that Giants wallet pickup. But what the hell's happened? Has all the pieces of the puzzle: bow, light arrows, magic, 6 medallions. He's eligible to enter Ganon's castle. Eligible to take on the dwarf. Take down the pig. Serve us up some bacon. It's been over 3 hours. Oh my god.
It's interesting. Like the tournament so far has definitely been a story of like kind of two different halves. We've had the Jets in qualifiers that just, you know, multiple sub 2 seeds, crazy fast races. One mistake could cost you the entire race. And then a whole bunch of these tournament races have been last checks, last location.
Yeah, I
Terrible
think the 1v1 setting can really play with your head. It also, I don't know, something about the way these seeds are trolling these racers.
Still convinced that restreamers just have a switch. Just like good seed, bad seed. They've just flicked it over to the bad seeds after hearing the complaints from qualifiers.
No, I think it's the artificial intelligence that has already sprung into its singularity. It's in charge of the randomizer because it's on the web, and it's aware of all the videos and all the streams that streamers are streaming. So it's trying to influence the races. It's a conspiracy. Great Zooter conspiracy of 2020. You heard it here on ZS. They're turning the frickin' Zora gay, man.
Oh my god. I want to make so many jokes about rainbow frogs now. Why have you done this?
Sorry, I think the AI took over. We lost this guy called August. He's not here.
And what the hell's happened is making the climb up Ganon's tower here. Almost at Ganon.
Respect my authority. But bonga bonga down for Glitchymon. We have the Ganondorf fight incoming.
And not too much can really go wrong here. Doing Ganondorf and Ganon every single seed of Rando. Can't really imagine anything going too wrong here. Especially with the caliber of these racers.
Hey, never count the Ganondorf down. He can knock you all the way down. And that feels really bad. Less bad with the long shot, but still pretty bad.
Yeah.
Especially racing someone like Glitchymon. Unfortunately, a little too late for Glitchy. What the hell has the dwarf down? Now it's time for the pig. Ladies and gentlemen, here's Ganon.
It's really weird to listen to with headphones.
Shoutouts to my good pal LOZ Card Span. I think it's 24 over on the Zelda 1 Discord.
So, I was going to say with this race, the difference between the two right now, is that the amount of time we think that Glitchy was waiting for time of day with Shoot the Sun?
Oh, certainly. Definitely. Yeah, without that, they were seconds apart. Both entering the water temple, both with the same 2 checks left. Definitely Big Monka feels bad, man.
And Glitchy even had the slight lead for at least some amount of this race.
Yeah, he
Due
was
to-
first to the Ocarina of Time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the consistency of the 3-song opener is not to be understated for sure. It really depends on what those opening songs are.
And there we go. Ganon taking a knee. Maybe begging for some mercy. But Butcher Link, no, he's not going to stand for it. Not delving out any mercy. He's serving bacon. Magically imbued Master Sword. Who's hungry? Get your GGs in, chat.
What the hell's happened with a finish of 3 hours, 17 minutes, and 14 seconds here? Still pretty strong with last location, a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, it has been a hell of a race for these racers.
Hello?
Howdy, hey.
Hi.
Congratulations. What the hell's happened?
Thanks. I'm exhausted. I don't know.
Yeah, a 3-hour seed's gonna do that to you. Checking chickens over 2.5 hours in is gonna do that to you.
It feels so bad.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
how
we discovered
was-
the one thing worse than chickens, apparently, because both you and Glitchy got to the point where you were doing chickens with maybe 2 checks left.
I thought, I don't know. I thought it was over after all dungeons didn't pay off. I was like, well, let's just go through the motions here. Let's just. I had what, Cuckoos, Big Pose, and a check in water. I was like, all right,
Yeah.
it's like maybe the Cuckoo, like the Cuckoo mind game. Maybe like someone, I don't know. Like, then Big Pose, like Big Po felt awful. I was like, there's no way it's Big Po. Then water. Ugh, I don't know. I'm stunned.
Yeah. Not sure if you're gonna want to go back and watch this, but it was pretty crazy. Glitchymon was the first to do all dungeons, first to the long shot and the Ocarina of Time. Did those checks, did chickens, had a couple of adult checks left to do. You guys were entering the water temple at nearly the same time. The only problem is after killing Morpha, Glitchy wasn't on the platform. He missed his shot on the sun. So before he
Oh,
went
what?
back in there to clear that, he stood out there and he waited for the sunrise. He waited
Oh
to
my
shoot the
God.
sun before going into water. Otherwise, it would have been extremely close there at the end.
Oh shit.
Yeah, he also, after doing all dungeons, he had like a couple more checks that you'd already done, like 20 skulls and Dampe digging. He
Oh, shit.
set
Okay.
time of day at Ganon's castle, saved there, then walked to the Tektite grotto, and then instead of resetting, just warped and tried to do Dampe anyway. And it wasn't there, so he then had to go back for it later, and it was just like a couple of little things towards the end, which you kind of got to wonder if it's the seed kind of playing into things. It's gone on for so long that these little mistakes are starting to show up.
Yeah, because it's weird because no bottom the well. So, and Shadow, again, Shadow being the last dungeon, like it's hard to metagame. Like you don't know how long this is supposed to take. No bottom of the well, sure. Then clearing everything, plus like 15 minutes once you start Shadow. It's like, well, it was rough. I really thought, like once it was all dungeon, I was like, okay, I guess this is it. and then nothing. Ugh.
It was really interesting from our end because we saw you get the mirror shield, but it was using the fire arrows from Forest, so it was ridiculously far out of logic still. Did you consider going into Spirit at that point, or was it just never really an
Well,
option?
I was
until
thinking
actually
about
showed?
it because, like, okay, it's something, but like, it's only a couple checks. I'd have to go back because I was just in Spirit. It's like I go. It was if I was going back, I wasn't doing Twin Rova anyway. I was gonna do like the mirror checks and that's it. But I was like, okay, then how do I get value from this? But what was that? Did I do? Was it fire or ice after that? It was fire, I think, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then Rudo's letter. That felt like okay. I was like, okay, I think this could be good, but I was scared of that like child trip I made. I think like before that, I don't remember when it was exactly. When I did Dampe and Skulls, like I just wanted to be sure, and then it was nothing. So that felt like, ugh, this might be out of the way. Since like we didn't have Sun Song, I thought maybe like he doesn't touch this area.
Yep, he definitely didn't. And at the Rudo's letter mark, as you were picking up Rudo's letter, he was basically finishing up with Jabu. So at that point, you were like a Jabu behind.
Oh my god.
And yeah, it was a great race.
I gotta watch this vlog.
Yeah, but moving on, staying up here in the winners bracket this season, Glitchymon moving on, gonna race off against Phoenix Feather. And who are you waiting on? What the hell?
I guess I'm playing engineer.
Yeah, you get your
Oh,
next Canadian showdown.
Yeah, it's weird. Like in my mind, I was like, well, I'm at the end. I was like, well, I'm playing Phoenix Feather next. I was like, I don't want to play Phoenix. He's my guy. I can't play him in losers. I was like, okay. It's like, well, this is it for Rando. I was like, I was ready. I was in a dark place.
Well, luckily you found the light arrows there in Shadow Temple on the way. No bottom of the well shenanigans, nothing like that.
Yeah, I guess at that point it would have just made the scene longer, and that's it. You're just like, come on, can we just finish at this point? Just take me out of my misery. That's pretty much what I thought when I found light arrow.
Yeah, we were all ready for, Ganon to tell you the light arrows were in his castle and to have to go and check the last handful of new checks for strength 3.
Yeah, last location strength 3 again, right after.
What did you think that Glitchymon did for his opener as you were kind of going through the 3-song route?
What do you mean? Like, once I was doing early adult, you mean?
Yeah, well, like once you went back and got all the 3 songs as child, at least, how did that kind of impact how you thought Glitchymon kind of opened the seed? Or what do you think he opened with?
What did he do versus West? Because I checked and I think he did Deku into 3 songs. So I was thinking like, okay, we got money, maybe he's doing that. But like once I was adult, it was just an insane amount of progression. Like there wasn't even any time to see like, oh, is this good or not? Do I gain an advantage here? It's just like, oh shit, I gotta do all these dungeons back to back.
It was kind of crazy from our end because you went early adult and it was just, you could do DC and you could do Forest and you could do Fire, and yet you're going back to do your 3-song route at the hour mark, and we're like, I think Glitchy got the most out of this opening.
Yeah, because I was thinking like, what did I gain from adult? I did all the progression. I didn't gain. What was this? The songs like ZL isn't that great.
And yeah,
ZL,
on the other
Serenade.
hand, with Glitchy's route, he did do early Deku into 3-song, and it was exactly the warp songs really worked out to just speed up that early adult. It was Bolero to go and pick up your Nocturne, and then you get that like down to there as well. So yeah, it was for a while Glitchy missed the hammer, and there was definitely a moment where we were like, is this going to be left behind? Like that could be quite a late pickup. But as soon as he got that, it was pretty much neck and neck from there on.
Where was the hammer again? Was it DC?
Goron City Bright Maze.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that at that point. I was okay, I'm doing Forest and then a hammer. I was thinking maybe I'd do Fire right now, but I had 5 or 6 hearts. I think I had just gotten 6. It's like, it feels like risky for no reason to do. Like maybe if it was Forest Medallion, you do Fire right then. But
I have another testament to Glitchy's amazing execution throughout the run is he didn't get that Baron Gerudo's Fortress in until after completing Forest Temple. He managed to keep this close, getting that rooftop chest, doing horseback archery, and I mean it didn't take him very long. Glitchymon's got true Canadian aim.
oh, I don't have Canadian aim then. not a trade.
And you got more of that ATZ aim. No shame.
Yeah, it's okay. ATZ. Me and ATZ, we can't aim for shit.
And unfortunately, the developers of the Nintendo 64 controller, not the same developers of Nintendo 64 game.
Yeah.
But I guess both of you guys are rocking GameCube controllers, so that doesn't influence anything.
Yeah, I'm on a GameCube controller. On my 2003 GameCube controller still.
That thing's still alive.
Barely. Barely. But we're trucking through. We're a team.
Well, that seems to be the awkward silence. Not a whole lot of Zooter here on the ZSR schedule until the weekend. We have Nephistos versus Salty Sponge.
Oh,
On
shit.
Saturday, we have, who is it? Rosca Tyrant versus... Who's Rosca fighting? Racing.
Roscoe
Killer
will be
App?
up against Killer App, yeah.
Killer App. Very nice. And then Marco versus Martin on Sunday.
Oh, wow, okay. Good rando weekend.
I guess where was Strength 3 Shadow?
I guess the other thing would be the wallet, if there was a way that Zora Tunic wasn't Way of the Hero, but
It was in
We
Shadow.
found
we saw
a-
everything,
yeah.
so I can only...
Yeah, Giant's Wallet was in the Shadow Temple.
Oh, was that
So,
down
yeah.
the way through, yeah. Yeah,
I
we
think just
realised
the
that
butter knife.
towards the end that the Zora Tunic in GTG might have been the hinted Way of the Hero. I wish there was a way to know which Way of the Heroes, like from the spoiler log, which Way of the Hero hints were pointing to which items. It would be great
Was
to...
Song of Time twice, I think. Song of Time was Way of the Hero twice, wasn't it? For like
Yeah,
Hover
must
Boost
have
and
been.
Boomerang.
Yeah, it was...
Yep.
The Zora Tunic wasn't up on the maze area, was it?
I don't remember Zora Tunic.
Believe
Sword Tunic was
so.
in
I think it was
GTG left his side maze.
Oh, okay.
it was like the third chest in there.
Oh, right. By the way, was I supposed to know that there was a key behind the block in water? I think so, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So right, you got 4 keys. You got 2 for the boomerang, 2 for the boss key chest, which had your boss key. At that point, you should have known there were 3 keys, more for drop the 1.
Yeah.
Well,
But
I guess it
you
was
know
a
what
50-50.
Yeah, I don't think there's a way to know, is there?
Was there? Because I was
I don't
so
know, where's
shook
Rob
anyway,
Dog?
because it was everything was over in my mind, and it was my 3rd trip in water. But the biggest thing is I forgot the water pillar existed. Like in my mind, because of 2 trips, I was like, oh my god, it's behind the block in water. And then when it was a key, I was like, I'm such an idiot. It's a key. Where is it then? What did I forget? And then, all right, there's
No.
another check in water. Like I forgot it existed completely.
Yeah,
So I can't
at
even
least at
blame
that
it 'cause
point,
I
you
don't
didn't have
know
anything
logic.
else to go check.
Yeah, but like I could have maybe like I could have stayed there just waiting and trying to figure out what check I missed in the game. It's when I opened that chest, I was like, wait, there's another check in water.
According to Rob Dog, there wouldn't have been a way to know in this case.
Okay.
It's either a key behind the block or a key in the central pillar.
Because I was scared I'd get sniped by like a minute or something, and then it's like, well, I've been slacking on my logic studying. Like, am I gonna lose because of that?
It was that shoot in the sun. I think it came down to that one.
So, as far as the log was concerned, that Zora Tunic was Way of the Hero.
Nice.
Sick.
Well, very good. I don't know about y'all, but it's late where I'm at. I need to go catch me some Z's.
Same. I don't know how
Yeah.
I'm gonna sleep though. I'm too hyped.
I could roll you
Canadian
another
alcohol
seed
is
and you
something.
just go crazy or something?
Nah, I'm good. I think I'm good.
How about some Canadian moonshine?
Yeah, we gotta celebrate this in Quebec.
All right. Well, good night, everybody. I'm out of here.
I'm not actually seeing anything on the schedule until Friday. Just give me a sec to confirm. We might have a second schedule that I'll need to cross-reference.
Gonna say August is saying it's late, early. It's 6:30 here now.
Yeah, it's not even midnight here.
Yeah, so the only guaranteed on the schedule at the moment we do have some Wind Waker randomizer, fairly hype match between Gymnast 86 and Dean Machine. Game 1 for their winner bracket round 4. That's at 12 Eastern on Friday, p.m. Then we also have the Freaky Friday at 7 p.m. on Friday. But we do also have possibility of tomorrow. There are a couple possible Link to the Past Challenge Cup matches. Keep an eye out for possibly tweets or notifications of the channel going live, and that may be the most notification you'll have on some of these, because sometimes they're little close to figuring out whether we get them up or not. Any final words before we go tonight?
I'm all good.
I'm good as well.
Well, thank you everyone for joining us. Hope to see you all again soon. Thanks to our trackers, thanks to our commentators, and of course the runners. And have a good night.